Everyone, Draco from Gatorbox here, and I'm welcoming you to kind of a special video on the Gatorbox channel. I have no idea what playlist this one is going into because the original playlist for this whole series is gone. But it's something that I've kind of wanted to do for a while now, and since 2025 is the 10-year anniversary of the start of this project, this particular series that I'm referring to in this video, I figure maybe now's as good of a time as any to put this out there. It's kind of a complicated thing to talk about, but the series, of course, is What's Yiffin, aka the furry news show that nobody asked for. This was a series that aired on Gatorbox between 2015 and 2017. It actually was broadcast all the way up until Hurricane Harvey happened and put us off the air for, half a year. And What's Yiffin is also noteworthy because it was the first show that got the what we call the First Friday treatment, where the first Friday of every month, that Friday show for the month, the Gator Unbox was replaced with a different opener. In the past, we did Fanfiction Factory and Gatorbox of Crayons. Moving forward, I would like to eventually incorporate Blood, Sweat, and Tears into the First Friday lineup. But What's Yiffin was the very first show to ever get that treatment. And it wasn't even supposed to be a show in the first place. It was supposed to be a one-off gag, but the reception at the time was so positive that we decided to bring it back the next month, and we kind of invented the First Friday thing from there and just ran with it. It was like the daily show for the furry fandom, and I was the anchor of it. Sometimes if we had a guest that stream, like Tuna Boat Tony or Reflex, they would sit in for the show, but I was always the presenter. And it was kind of freeform for the first few shows, but as we kind of hammered out the details, every month, well, the start of every month, we would take the 4 top stories from the furry fandom from the previous month and kind of go over them and talk about them and who's involved and what's happening and tell a few jokes about it and try to keep it lighthearted and goof off. Every once in a while we would talk about some serious drama that was happening at conventions, like that asshole that had the Confederate flag wolf suit and stuff like that, and the movie critics who tried to rip into Zootopia because it was like racist or something, stupid shit like that. Every once in a while we dabbled in that, but for the most part we just kind of talked about stories in the fandom. The show was written by me and co-written by Roastmaster, as well as a couple of other folks from the Gatorbox community at the time who kind of helped us find stories. And we had a couple of people from the Kiwi Farms who were familiar with Gatorbox who also contributed to writing the show and lending ideas. I have never really, it's been a while, but I've never really addressed the farms directly in any of the Gatorbox videos. I feel like it's dangerous optics, but I am appreciative that you guys seem to like me. Thank you. I try not to be political. I try not to do stupid shit. I mean, I've done stupid shit, but I try not to do it. If I can help it, I try not to do it. So, I mentioned What's Yiffin got its start in 2015. And the whole reason for this show becoming a thing is really something that I haven't been open about, because it feels like, reopening old wounds, and it didn't, the show didn't come from a place of good intentions at the time, maybe. We were kind of making light, ribbing at somebody who was causing problems for the show at that point in time. To kind of go over it, we had a contributor to Gatorbox early on in its early years, and there was something of a falling out. The best way I can describe it is that I was acting a little too based on social media. What happened is, I remember the day fondly, because I've been asked about it before. I was driving back from a doctor's appointment, and I had a Windows phone. I didn't have Android, didn't have Apple, I had a fucking Windows phone. And you got Google Assistant, you got Siri, and then you have Cortana, the chick from Halo, on the Windows phone. And I had my phone on the holder on the dashboard, and I was driving into work because I had the rest of the day I was going to be at work. I took like the first 2 hours off. So I'm driving across town to go to work, and I try to use the voice activation. I say, hey, Cortana, play my Roxette playlist. The 80s band Roxette. And Cortana thought for a second, and then the whole phone just crashed. And I got mad, and I was kind of venting about it on Twitter at the time. And somebody mentioned, like, you should get an Apple because, you know, Siri is... And I forget the exact conversation, but my response to that person is, Siri is a cunt, Cortana is just retarded. And somebody came in to tone police me about using the word retarded. And I clapped back at them and I would say, hey, don't put words in quotation marks. It offends me. Or I said it triggers me. I said something stupid like that and threw it back in this guy's face. And then somebody else saw me doing that, which was the person who had contributed to Gatorbox at the time. He saw me doing that, and he, for some reason, took it upon himself to make it his personal goal to start a Twitter block list for every bad furry out there. And because of I said the R word. I later on, eventually, I apologized to the guy I clapped back at, because I did act like an asshole to him, and he was fine with that. It's okay. But the other guy was still going on his little crusade, and he wanted to put me... I was going to be public enemy number one on this block list. However, I couldn't be on the block list because the person I was dating at the time was friends with the guy making the block list. So me, being on his block list, pissed off the person I was dating, and they were friends, so they had friction, so then I was taken off the block list, and dozens of other assholes were put on it. So there's this whole thing, and I'm the reason this whole damn thing existed, and I ain't even on the fucking list. We decided to dedicate a little bit, the start of our next stream, to kind of recap what was going on, and kind of make fun of this block list. And we did. And I think we talked about a couple of other things, just like, it was like the furry news, but the big story was the block list, because that's the whole reason why we did this damn thing. And we rattled off a couple of other things. And people thought that was, like, funny, and they wanted us to keep doing it. So, we did. And it became a monthly thing, and we moved away from the block list thing, and that eventually burned itself out. The person who, speaking of the Kiwi farms, the person who made the block list, he did wind up with a thread on the Kiwi farms, and I will just say, a lot of the information in the OP of that thread is incorrect. The name that they think they nailed him with, that's not that guy's name. I know his real name, and I've never told it to anybody, because even though this person literally tried to dox me, and tried to cancel me, and tried to drag me through the shit, all because I called a fictional character retarded, I still took the moral high ground, and I didn't want this person... This guy was a fucking idiot, alright? He was literally like 18 years old at the time. I was like, we all do stupid shit when we're younger, and I don't want this person to be paying for it for the rest of his life. So I know his name, I know his dad's name, I know his mom's name, I know where they work, I know the businesses, I know all this shit. And I never told anybody to protect this asshole's identity. And he seems to have disappeared from the internet, so I hope he's just changed his name and he's doing well and he pulled his head out of his ass. I hope the best for him. There's no bad blood. I don't hold a grudge. If you're watching this and you know who you are, I genuinely hope you are doing well in life. If you're still with the person you were seeing 10 years ago, congratulations, a decade is not easy. If not, hey, welcome to the club, I guess. I don't know. I said the show happened between 2015 and 2017. Well, right in the middle of that, a very pivotal U.S. presidential election happened, and everybody lost their fucking minds over it. Everybody. Literally everybody. It became difficult to put the show together because we didn't want to really make it political. We're just clowning on idiots in the fandom, you know, like there's one story of like this guy who was dating a person who, like, it turns out like didn't exist, and then like he did like this suicide bait and trying to get a pity party because his partner killed himself, but the person never actually existed. The whole shit show was So Sorry from the Undertale game. When that powder keg blew up, we were joking about that guy on the show and stuff like that. You know, these are safe topics. You can just kind of point at the idiots and be like, look at this guy, you know. But it slowly became unavoidably political as you had like the Antifa furs and the like the right wing. I hate to use the term Nazi furs because that's stupid. That's just the blanket statement that everybody casts on them, and they're not really Nazi. They're definitely right wing. I don't know if Nazi is the right term. They're not out there putting random people up and putting them in ovens and shit. You know, maybe they will. If left unchecked, I don't know. But right now, that's not the right descriptor for them. But I don't know what else to call them. But it became unavoidable. And that was one of the last few stories we did, was kind of taking a stance on both of you are fucking stupid as hell, and you need to cool it because you're killing this fandom and you're ruining it. And that was really like the last thing we said on the show, because Hurricane Harvey happened and put us off the air. And in that time, Roastmaster and I, we kind of talked about it, and we decided not to bring the show back when Gatorbox came back on the air in 2018. We decided not to continue What's Yiffin because it wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't fun to write the show. Everything had gone to shit. It was so hard to find the little stories of things to laugh at, you know. I say little stories, but the significant stories that were apolitical that we could laugh at. It wasn't fun anymore, and we just decided to stop doing it. And then eventually the entire series was delisted from our YouTube channel because a really long time ago, I just kind of moved on from the fandom. Even when I was doing What's Yiffin, I was on my way out. I was like, I'm really, this isn't for me. This is not my thing. This is not the shit that I want to be associated with. I was on my way out. Roastmaster has been kind of out of the fandom as well. We're both very disenfranchised is the right way to put it. And it's crazy to think about that when we did our last episode of What's Yiffin, I was in my late 20s, and Roastmaster was in his early 30s. And it's been a decade, so I'll let you crunch the numbers. It's just not something that we could continue, because it seems a little, you don't want to end up like the Ranting Griffin, who was featured at one point in the show, because he did some stupid shit, as he always does. The show's been delisted, and it's kind of been buried, and we don't talk about it on Gatorbox, but I feel like it's been a decade, and I feel like I've done a lot of personal growth and kind of healing from a lot of the awful shit that I went through in my time online in the fandom, namely with the Twitter block list and the whole reason why this show exists in the first place. I'm past that. So I feel like I can compile some of the funnier moments and stories from the series, the 2-year run of the show, and kind of present them here all in one marathon video, back to back to back, so you guys can relive. I hesitate to call it the best moments of What's Yiffin, but I think we can all agree they are certainly the least worst. So, without further ado, what follows is a comprehensive, mostly unedited, look at some of the highlights from What's Yiffin. I will put the dates, the months and stuff like that on the footage so you guys know when about, for context, like when these things were talked about. Yeah, here's the rest of it. Enjoy. And I'm sorry.
Furry Network is a brand new furry social networking site and porn aggregate created by Bad Dragon Enterprises. It's currently in beta only, meaning that it's probably broken and you can't use it, and you also need a beta code to get to it. And because it's owned by Bad Dragon, you can expect to see only advertisements for Bad Dragon. You looking at pictures of horses? Why don't you buy a extra large chance right there, right on the side of it? It's all good to go. If you want to get, I had to write this part down. This is news. you go to surveymonkey.com/r/K55B2KM, you can apply for a Furry Network beta code, or you can go to whatsyiffin.com/Furry Network porn site beta, and that'll take you straight to the beta application. I'm not making this up. You can go there. I swear to God, it's a real link. I bought that website too before this stream. According to the feedback results from signups on Furry Network, 10% of people in the furry fandom hate the song "What Is Love" by Hadaway. That's information that is probably going to come out on Trivial Pursuit or Jeoparsmart. Also, recent developments on Furry Network, they have installed an SSL certificate, meaning that you can rest assured your data is safe while you are jerking off to the Paw Patrol diaper fetish art. So you can use connect over HTTPS, and that doesn't really mask your identity at all. Your ISP is going to know you're doing it. The government's going to know you're doing it. You really just you really fucked up on that one. That's all the news I have for today. I only have 2 talking points because I figured this is probably going to bomb terribly. If you enjoyed this show, this is What's Yiff. If you hated it, this is The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. This month's top story, Rainfurrest 2015.
You knew it was coming, people.
This is the news that pretty much wrote itself.
What else could we be talking about?
Rainfurrest is Seattle's furry convention. It recently went through its 10th convention. And there was a lot of baby furs at Rainfurrest that ruined it for everybody. And according to Rainfurrest's official
website
postmortem on their website, they only revoked 5 badges. Just 5.
You can count them on one hand.
Going by the shitstorm that I saw, literally the shitstorm I saw doing research for the news, 5 is about 42 little. That also does not count the number of people that the hotel threw out, which was way more than 5.
Yes, it was.
There's actually no number on that, but it is more than 5. There was an incident at a furry fandom that was very scandalous. Someone pooped in the hot tub.
And don't forget, before that, there were two furries that screwed on a car or something like that.
They fucked up a barbecue charity for some cancer kid. That's they've already fucked that up. The kid's probably dead because some people fucked in fursuits. Anyways,
you're horrible.
A year ago, some people pooped in the hot tub, and I'm using the term poop instead of shit because it's funnier in terms of hot tub integrity. So not only did that happen again at Rainfurrest, they decided to take a step further, and allegedly there was a fur that made a glory hole in one of the bathroom stalls. Allegedly, because
we can't confirm.
At first, I thought this was substantiated, but then it became
it's rumor.
It became allegation. So what I wanted to get a cordless. Thank you, man. This is the news, okay? You gotta sound. This is. Look at this fucking background. It's all this red shit. Now there's a huge outcry with people saying, "Oh, you can't make fun of baby furs. You can't make fun of baby furs and shit like that because that's kink shaming." Ha ha! Fuck you. Let me tell you something about kink shaming. If you think people should be allowed to wear diapers and bondage gear out in public, why don't you invite them over to your place and let them shit in your jacuzzi? How about that? Does that sound fair? So there have been pictures that have been circulating that I'm not going to post here because they're gross, of people throwing used diapers in certain places. Everywhere even, and bags of used diapers. So I don't care what the fuck you say about kink shaming. Throwing part of being a baby fur is not putting that diaper on somebody's car unless your fetish is being an inconsiderate piece of shit that can't function in society. If your fetish is being an unreliable, inconsiderate piece of shit, buy a plant and don't water it. Rainfurrest had the Hilton, the SeaTac Hilton in Seattle, Washington, secured for 2015 and 2016. I'm sorry, I'm reading chat. They had the convention hotel booked for this year and next year, but so much shit fucking went down that the Hilton went takesy-backsies on their contract and said, actually, don't come back ever.
And that's official.
That's official.
Like, that is actually direct from Rainfurrest's website. They say on there...
Straight from...
No, we do not have a location for 2016, whereas they have previously stated that they had a contract for 2015 and 2016. The Hilton literally ripped up the contract because they were so fed up with their shit.
They were just like, nope, we're not having any of this anymore. Please don't come back ever. This is the same hotel that every year hosts the ever-free BronyCon. So Bronies have managed to keep their shit together more than furries. We're supposed to be better than that, okay?
We are.
We're not horse fuckers, and you're fucking it up. You're fucking us. Most of us are not horse fuckers in literal terms. But you diaper assholes are ruining it for everybody. There was recently some drama over the FurAffinity forums because apparently FurAffinity does not own their own forums.
Yeah, that's right. They went down, didn't they?
Yeah, they're a separate entity run by the administrator. I believe his name is pronounced Karanath. I'm botching that because I don't know how to say all these damn fandom names. He broke away from FurAffinity because he was dissatisfied with IMVU, and he took...
Who isn't?
Apparently not enough people. He took the FurAffinity branding out. All references were dropped. He renamed it the Phoenix Forums, put it up somewhere, got legal action from IMVU, and then there's this whole shitstorm where IMVU apparently...
Yes, there was at the Hilton.
IMVU apparently thought that they got the forums as part of the package deal. And it turns out that Dragonair sold a car that was parked on his lot that he did not own.
You were saying?
So Gelsoft confirmed, Karanath, you are the owner of the forums, and IMVU is SOL. Just add some more letters onto that fucking mess. If you want to go, for some reason, to the former FurAffinity forums, they are at phoenix.corvidae.org. That's Corvidae, as in the family of animals that crows and blue jays belong to. In terms of FurAffinity, is this the end? Is this finally the end? In 1995, you had VCL.
Is it VLC or VCL?
Fuck, it's one of those ones. It's the one that doesn't have the cone.
It's VCL.
Yeah. You had VCL.
I'm fucking with you.
Thank you. It's so easy to get me to second guess it. You had VCL in 1995. And in 2005, FurAffinity showed up, and it was brand new, it was shiny, everyone loved it, and VCL... No, there was a point in time when people thought FurAffinity was a promising endeavor.
They thought it was the shit.
I think by the day after they realized there was a problem. So, you had VCL from 95 to 2005. And VCL is still around, but they've long since phased out of... the public
They're no
spotlight.
longer relevant.
Yeah, exactly. And FurAffinity has been around from 2005 to 2015 ? And it is now somebody else's time to take the reins. FurAffinity, you've had a decade. You've made us all look like assholes. DreamWorks Animation makes a really awful tweet, hot off the trails of all the Rainfurrest commotion of all those furries literally shitting up a convention. DreamWorks makes a tweet for their animated series King Julian, which I think you can watch on Netflix or some shit. It's one of those shitty cartoons that no one ever watches. Anyways, they tempted fate by doing a hashtag called KJ Trends, and King Julian wants you to show off your fucking the so hot trend to diapers. It's just fucking asking for trouble. Anybody with half a fucking brain, right? So naturally, you can guess what happened to DreamWorks. They got fucking flooded with a bunch of gross-ass baby furs, sending them just awful pictures. Thankfully, it was nothing explicit that I could find. At least they had the self-restraint not to send them like brown diapers.
That's still explicit though.
Yeah, it's still
like the
pretty.
whole concept is gross.
It's also fucking creepy. If you want to guess that mess for yourself, it's still there because DreamWorks owned up to it. They followed up a week later with another tweet with King Julian wearing his fucking diaper there, and they owned up to it. They didn't mention the shitstorm they started on Twitter, but it looks like the marketing department, looks like that intern did not get fired. So, great job, congratulations. You're still with it.
Yeah, that's a PR goof, but I think all of DreamWorks owned up to that. They were like, this is
and there's at least one baby fur that works for DreamWorks, and they happen to control their Twitter. So see, there you go. See,
there you go.
Gawker media is thirsty for clickbait. As you all know, in this post-Gamergate world that we're living in, Gawker's been hurting for views, hurting for money. Apparently, they fucked up something fierce and lost something like 7 figures in ad revenue, I think. Ashley Feinberg fired up Gawker's fake news, social justice brigade, outrage, madness over sexual harassment on Twitter. The victim of sexual harassment on Twitter is Tony the Tiger.
Someone got upset that a cereal...
Someone got triggered
that a cereal mascot was harassed.
Yeah, it's because Tony can't say anything on Twitter without furries shitposting in response, saying like "sit on my face" and things like that. I'm not joking. That's like the shit that they tweet at him. Of note, Ashley Feinberg went through the trouble of getting a quote from Gawker's editor-in-chief regarding the situation, but nobody bothered to contact Kellogg's because, of course, they wouldn't fucking lift a finger to do any journalistic work whatsoever. So we followed up with Kellogg's and spoke to someone from their customer relations line about how they handle heckling and harassment over Twitter.
Wait, you actually talked to them?
I spoke to Kellogg's.
That's on your phone right now. You have the number for Kellogg's.
I called Kellogg's and I asked them about harassment on Twitter because we're not even real fucking news, and I'm still at least going that far to make sure I get my facts right for a goddamn joke.
Well, okay, yeah, that's good. That's good.
See?
That's good. All right, so
it turns out their policy is do not engage. If there's somebody asking for cummies from Tony the Tiger, they're just not going to respond to that person. Simple as that. So you can continue tweeting at them all you want. I wouldn't encourage it because that's somebody's job is to put up with your bullshit. So cut it out.
I was going to play oblivious to this, but I just saw it appear on the news on the screen again, and I can't because I want you to know right now. Whatever happens after this, I never made it to the 27 club. I died prematurely.
It's alright. Janis Joplin's laughing at you from hell.
Yeah.
So was Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
Except he doesn't have a mouth, so he can't.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, our final story of the night. Mare juice. Bronies ruin everything. Mare juice is exactly what you think it is. It's
I'm
pony.
so mad about this.
Pony pussy juice. It's all brony shit specifically. It's all fucked up. Last month we talked about Rainfurrest. Also, they were the previous story this month. We talked about Rainfurrest losing their event venue to the fucking EverQuest BronyCon, whatever the hell it was called. But I feel like this stunt that the Bronies pulled has leveled the playing field again. We're on even ground. They don't have the edge anymore. They might have the Hilton in Washington, but fuck it, because we don't have like fucking Pokemon and Star Fox cum drinks. So
hold on, I have to stop you right now. Because that you're correct. We don't have that. I just looked up at the broadcast. Not the guy I expected.
Yeah,
he's a lot leaner. He's a lot darker. And that is way too sophisticated of a glass for this.
If you haven't seen the video, he kind of talks like this.
That I expected.
He has the Mike Tyson voice without the pitch.
Oh,
but,
okay.
So I'm gonna drink some pony pussy juice.
Now you know why I had the tea. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So this guy, he goes by the name Kronzno Productions. I'm probably butchering that. I don't care.
Sorry, Kronzo.
Mare juice has been around as like a shitpost recipe on 4chan since going as far back as 2013. I'm doing my research here. However, Kronzo, he's the first person that he tried it on video and posted it. So the video hasn't gone viral, but it's gotten some airplay in certain circles online. He came up with the new Princess Luna flavor. I don't know which character that is. And he tried it on video. And he quoted, he tried it, and he said, and I quote in the video, "It's kind of creamy and sweet at first. Then there's like this salty and other flavor, which I cannot describe."
Okay, so hold on, just real quick. One, I just saw one of the URLs, and I'm really trying to keep it together right now because holy shit. Okay, so that quote that he just said. Are we going to talk about the ingredients, or is that going to be in our after hours video where we show the making of it? Are we going to talk about the ingredients today?
Yeah, the ingredients that go into it are...
Because before you do that, I want you to know nothing he said in that is fucking right.
To make it, you need to have 2/3 a cup of water, 1/3 of a cup of blueberry juice, 1 packet of grape Jello.
Yes.
The gelatin mix, the kind you make on the stove. 5 tablespoons of honey, I think, is one of the things. And then there's salt and garlic powder that go into it.
That's the thing.
That's the two kickers, because I guess you got to give it that zing. You got to give it that feminine zing to add that bite to it.
No. None of that is correct.
Doesn't taste like grape juice and garlic.
No.
Damn.
No.
Who would have thought that 4chan would have been wrong and somebody would have been dumb enough to try it? I mean, who in their right mind would spend 15 minutes cooking horse cum over a stove just to try it for attention on the internet? I mean, I can't think of anybody who would do such a thing. That's just gross. I mean, what kind of an autist do you have to be to say you want to drink pony cum? And who goes through the trouble of saying that it's going to be grape flavored and with blueberries and garlic? How do you know? Does someone actually go and fucking go down on Princess Luna? Let's find out. It's going to be bad because...
Please get that other bowl.
Oh, yeah. Here.
Thank you. It looks like a witch's potion that's been sitting for like eons.
Yeah, it's got little granules. It says suspension. I made sure to melt all the honey and mix in all the gelatin.
It's trying to crystallize again, though.
Oh, is that what it's trying to do?
I think so. I think
it's fucking 9 parts honey. Because it gives it
Oh, Jesus. I think the smell went up over the cup and then just poured right into my nose.
Have you
No, you don't do that. It's gross. It's gross because... well, no, I can't do that joke because that's... I want to save it for that video. But this is just rancid. Like, you think a purple drink wouldn't smell this bad, but it does.
It's also... You gotta serve it warm, and just this glass is warm in my hand, and it's gross.
God damn.
Do you want to try it at the same time, or do you want to watch me do it first? Because I'm the host of this fucking show.
I think best at the same time, man.
Okay. We're gonna fight over this? Alright.
Okay.
I'll see you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate.
Here it is. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
That's gross. That's gross.
Cola, take me away.
Once it gets in your mouth, it wants to solidify, which is gross. Alright? And while it's solidifying, like while the honey is solidifying, the garlic and the salt that's in it is also doing that same thing.
Oh, shit.
Like, it got, for me, in my mouth, it stayed right here. It stayed right here in this little pocket. Because I was like, it is not going anywhere else in there.
I can still taste it.
I know. I'm fighting it right now.
It's still there.
I'm fighting it. It's gross.
Well, since we just gave oral, you want a hard candy to get that?
Yes, please. I also want a cigarette.
So this sick fuck also tempted fate by making a Pinkie Pie flavor, which he did this in between the time it took me to write the news and shoot the news, as we're doing right now.
We're not doing it.
We're not doing it because tuna juice is one of the ingredients in that, and I draw the line there. Garlic powder and grape, I will try just for gross out factor, but I'm not gonna fucking Guy 8 here tuna juice and bubble gum. Not happening.
I think my brain vomited.
So he's actually, if you search him up on YouTube, his name is spelled Kyrosno. Krosno Productions.
All I can think of is like Chrono, like Kyrosno.
Yeah, Korosno. He's got the video of him drinking
Corrosive.
He's got it's warm. He's got the video of him drinking this out of a fancy glass.
I'm gonna go get rid of these fucking potions.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
He's drinking it out of a fancy glass. He's also got the Pinkie Pie one, and it's equally just as bad.
Oh damn! It looks gross going down.
Is it stringy like I thought it was?
It's not stringy, but like once it hit the sink, it was just like, oh, I'm warm. I'm gonna go ahead and sit here. I'm gonna go and take this too. I might even have to put a bowl.
Yeah, we gotta burn my Circle K mug, I think. So, anyways, if you like what you've seen just now and you think that you have the balls to stomach that, you can get all the recipes for all the horses and Princess Luna, the 7th one, by going to whatsyiffin.com/I want to drink Mare cum. You got to type that into your fucking browser if you want to do it. Welcome to Gatorbox. Today we're we got about an hour before we go live for our first stream in November 2015, and we're doing furry news this year. We're doing furry news this month, and one of the stories we're doing is this Spurg Brony made Mare juice, and he posted a video of him drinking it, and basically it's supposed to be horse pussy juice. So it's pretty gross. Going through some of the ingredients when I was shopping. But we're making it for the as a prop gag for the news coming up in an hour. So I've already started. I've already got the water boiling. No one wants to fucking you got time? Who cake boss?
I'm zoomed in on the ingredients right now. That's a lot of steps and a lot of minute markers.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't know if I fully decrystallized this honey. Oh man. That's okay. Pussy juice is chunky.
No, it's not.
I think it is. So,
Not the horse kind.
Claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife.
Fuck your mare.
Alright. JRH NVR, buddy. Alright, so let me get... That's gotta get dissolved. It looks like it's dissolving pretty well, actually. So now we got 3 tablespoons of honey in there.
Okay.
You also gotta add Jello. So the recipe for Princess Luna, which is the one that they did in the video, it calls for grape Jello. So somewhere out there, Bill Cosby's giving his thumbs up. He's like, "You should have drugged the horse first." So it says a whole pack of Jello. So I'm just gonna get at it.
Got that pack?
It's a regular everyday pack of Jello, everyday value, 74 cents at the Walmart. It's got gelatin, which is kind of fucked up because don't they make gelatin from horse parts like the hooves and shit?
I think so, yeah.
Cool. So it gives that authentic kick. Whew. Damn. And then you got to turn that heat down to low. Put it on low. You don't want to burn the Jello.
Right.
Bill Cosby will come and kill you. Also, this is our first period of having 3 minutes of no shit to do now. So I'm gonna stir up this. You want to stir the Jello mix. Got to make sure it's nice and dissolved. You want to get that Mare juice all nice and hot and warm. I think you're supposed to serve it at room temperature too, which just sounds really just awful. Stir, reduce to low, 3 minutes. So we got like 2.5 left. Yeah, we got about 2 minutes left. So I guess we can go over the rest of the ingredients. I already got a close up on them earlier. It's first of all, it's 2/3 cup water, and then the other third of the cup it's going to be blueberry juice. But as I found out, nobody sells blueberry juice, so I had to get pomegranate blueberry. So it's going to give a little bit extra kick, a little bit unique, a little bit unique horse flavor in there. Pomegranate, you're going to drink it, say this doesn't taste like Luna. That's the secret ingredient.
You picked your nose while doing that. You're not supposed to do that.
Alright, and then, of course, honey is also fucking 5 tablespoons of this, I guess to keep it stringy and runny and gross and sweet. This is, I fucked up the label trying to decrystallize it. This is honey. You can get any kind of honey. But we got honey from the Rakowitz Honey Farm in Jordanton, Texas. Your last name's Rakowitz. Do you know these people?
No, I don't.
Is that your farm? Is this,
no.
Are we making horse pussy juice with your farm honey?
I hope not. But we don't even have honey. we only have the bees that just sting. They don't even make honey. They specialize in stings. Stings and more stings.
So you're going to need 5 tablespoons of this shit, which is like...
Their queen is actually a giant stinger.
5 tablespoons of honey is like 3.5 bottles, I think, so get ready for that. Here's the part where it gets kind of gross. We also had the Jello, but then we also... you need 1 teaspoon of salt.
Oh good, fanboy tears.
Yeah. Gonna add a little bit of saltiness to it because you can never have that pony waifu, so that's what this is for. All those flavors you choose to be salty. And garlic powder, inexplicably, there's a... when you kick it up a notch,
bobble.
It's got the Emerald Lagasse horse pussy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what... I guess that's the ward away vampires.
Yeah, so the vampires don't be cheating on your girl when she's on her period, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you got a cola. This doesn't go into the Mare juice. This is just for you.
Cola.
That's what's up. It smells like a...
Fuck her right in the pussy.
Fuck her right in the pussy! It smells like a bathroom.
Yeah, it does. It smells like a fast food restaurant bathroom that you just walked in on, but you're not sure how long ago they cleaned it.
It smells like a urinal cake. All right, we got to do 2 teaspoons of salt. Wait, was it 2? All right, that's what the horse fucker says.
Yes, it says 2 teaspoons and then increase to medium. Increase to med.
We have to kick up the 43,
I'll make sure I get some good angles on this, so we're not going to DSP it.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what'd be great is if he gains any more weight. If people started making DSP fries,
More like DSP eggs. It's all he fucking makes in his cooking show is eggs. I think he did 7 Cooking with the King videos, and 4 of them he makes fucking breakfast in it.
I think
That's more than half.
Yeah.
We're gonna put another 3 minutes on our kitchen timer.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna have we're getting close.
All right.
We're coming up on the halfway point. Now would be a good time. You got your cola. I gotta drink it this way so you can see the label.
Yes.
You know. Now would be a good time. I'm take a couple swigs of this cola. Maybe one more. Every time I do that, I get carbonation in it. Take that. There we go.
That's a good thumbnail right there.
Gatorbox tries it. Alright, so we don't need the... How do you fucking close this? Man, that sucks that juice has pomegranate already included, because I was going to make a joke about it, but oh well. Because I have Mio, and I was going to be like, you cook it or not? No one has to know.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
I still might do it. You have you got a favorite horse?
I don't.
Rocky? No?
I have never really watched My Little Pony. The only thing I know is that our mutual friend David likes Applejack, right? Is it Applejack? No, it's Big Mac.
Apple Bloom. Apple juice?
No, Big Mac.
Big Mac.
Remember the guy horse?
Oh yeah, the one that sounds like Sling Blade.
Yeah, he likes. I know he likes Big Mac in a non-creepy way. I know that you accosted or that you yelled at Fluttershy while you were in a truck because y'all were going to Dave and Buster's and she was being a little bitch.
She was being a fucking cunt about Dave and Buster's.
So, and I know that Tara Strong voices one of the characters. So
yeah,
there you
Bubbles.
go. There you go. Yes, that's all I know. What's your favorite thing about Mare juice? Is it the ingredients, the name, the audacity that someone had to make that, or the fact that you're subjecting both of us to it?
I think the reason it was mostly shock value, but because apparently like this was news to me. I heard about it through the grapevine on a troll forum.
You mean the pomegranate vine?
Yeah, through the grapevine.
Oh jeez.
I want to come inside Rainbow Dash, whatever that fucking meme is.
Something like that.
Princess Molestia, whatever.
Something like
I'm
that.
hip. I know these fucking 5-year-old MLP memes from 4chan. Fuck you. I know what's up.
Major League player.
These recipes have apparently been around since like 2013.
Tony 13?
No, 2013.
Oh, Coney 13? Shit, he's still around.
And basically, oh shit, that sound means it's time for the lightning round. Let me talk while I do this. Alright, so we gotta add one more tablespoon honey. More fucking honey.
More honey. Alright, so while you're doing the honey, you said that this has been around since 2013.
Yeah, it was, they used to post like these recipes and shit on the MLP board on 4chan as a joke. And apparently nobody actually like drank them until this one Spurg just went on YouTube, and straight up he was like, here, I tried it. And he posted a video of himself drinking this exact concoction, and he kind of choked on it at first, which does not bode well for our broadcast, but in our regard.
Okay, so then a quick recap as well. Why are we doing this? Because it's entertaining?
For the YouTube views, because it's hot right now, and I'm fucking clickbait. Also, you need a third cup of this juice.
Again. No, wait, we haven't had that yet.
Not yet.
That was the grape gel that we had. Okay.
I'm eyeballing it from this side. That looks correct.
What do you need? A third?
A third of a cup? Is that close to a third?
It's actually over... No, yeah, that's right.
Okay, I was going to say, I'll just take a sip then. Here we go. You got to pour that juice in there.
Close enough.
Jeez, I'm sure that's going to be great. You got to turn the heat down to low. Once you add the juice, put the heat on low. Oh shit, now we got to add the garlic powder.
Fuck.
Add one 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Stir for 3 minutes.
See, like, a lot of these combinations I'm not really liking, but the two that I absolutely hate out of all of this are the garlic and the salt. Because honey and pomegranate, I'm sure, like, you can make something good out of that. Maybe.
Honey and pomegranate sounds good by itself. It sounds like a really good flavor of tea.
I'd try it.
Here it is. Oh, put the garlic in there. Watch out, it separates all the fucking bubbles. That's so gross. Okay. Add that garlic in there. Okay, so now we gotta actually stir this mess for 3 minutes. So
You have to stir it for 3 minutes?
that's what the retards on 4chan say you have to do. You gotta stir it for 3 minutes, okay? It smells awful, dude. I can smell it from here. It smells bad.
The garlic, or just the garlic mixing with everything?
Everything? This pot is...
Okay, well, I guess I gotta do it now. Let's see.
Oh, dude.
Oh, shit!
That's some rank fucking horse pussy right there.
Like, you know, you ever been on a school bus whenever someone threw up and they have to get that powder? It smells like that.
Now you know how to make it.
It's
apparently 1 part Jello, 1 part...
It smells like that, but on a hot summer day.
You're supposed to serve this room temperature, or rather the internal temperature of a horse, which I forgot to look up before.
Well, good. That doesn't need to be in your Google search history, and you don't need to go to my computer and do that.
Damn. I already had to do some research for the furry news tonight, so I've already got Mare juice in my...
At least that's comical. At least, like, even if, like, NSA just happened to be like, hey, let's check out this con guy, and then they go and look through all your, you know, your DOS, DDR records and whatever, I don't know, and they'll just be like, man, this guy looked at all this stuff, and then they're gonna, like, backtrace it, you know? Because, you know, consequences will never be the same.
They'll never be the same.
They never be the same. And, well, they're going to see that and they'll be like, man, this news is hilarious. And they're going to share it with the president, and then you're getting an award. You're going to be like the clock boy, but without the clock.
So I guess
you're going to be the clock boy.
I guess President Trump is going to give me the fucking Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
Thanks to you drinking the mare vagina juice, I award you the Medal of Honor. That's the thing, is that, like, horses are really gross.
Yeah.
Like, I've never, full disclosure, this is journalistic integrity here, I've never eaten out a real horse before. But I would imagine it doesn't taste like grapey blueberry and shit.
Man, that's some real ethics right there.
It's all about the ethics and Mare juice journalism.
So you've added more honey.
Yeah, the final step. Add 1 tablespoon of honey and stir to dissolve. And then I'm gonna take this off the heat. I'm gonna put it inside that fucking Circle K coffee mug over there that's insulated. The one that says Summer of '69 on the side of it, which is 69 cents refills, not 69 as in we're gonna 69 a horse.
Well, I think at this point we kind of are. Also, I'm gonna be 69ing a toilet because I'm gonna be throwing up and probably. But also, just want to let you know, that's my chaser. That whole thing I'm zooming in on. I brewed a whole gallon of sweet tea because I'm going to need it after this.
This is my chaser. If you're going to go down on a horse, you want to freshen up afterwards, you want to get that taste out of your mouth, you know what I mean? You don't want people, you want to be on DL. You got to go back into the rest of fucking civilized society. Don't want people to know you've been going on a horse. Take a cola, man. It gets that taste right out. You get your breath smelling like you've been drinking cola all day. No one's going to know. It could be your secret.
But I don't know what time it is.
It's coming up on 8:20, so
it's tool time.
We've got about, 25 minutes until the stream goes live with the broadcast card. I've got my insulated Circle K coffee mug. Summer 2011. It was a great year. Rest in peace. This mug, I'm going to have to just throw it away after this.
Yes.
But I've got my Mare juice off the heat.
Okay, let me zoom in real quick. Okay, go ahead.
Here, you want to zoom in on this disgusting mess?
I mean, it was kind of like that, but I wanted to see how I wanted to zoom in and see how I was gonna pour.
Oh, let's do it over the sink.
Okay, yes, good idea. Here we go.
Plates that we need to wash.
All right, I got a good. All right, yes, I am.
That beautiful Mare pussy juice footage.
It's smoother than I thought, but it still looks gross. I think I just saw a chunk.
It's natural. Keeps that good flavor in there.
There's no.
I think we've made a terrible mistake. This locks in the flavor.
Oh,
and
Jesus!
You see, you got it open right now. It's letting the heat out. You want to turn that? You want to turn that shit? Lock that temperature in. It's got styrofoam inside there. You can just leave this sitting anywhere, and hopefully it'll retain that temperature. And then we're gonna I think there's a couple of glasses in here. We're going to very artfully present this horse pussy juice inside these 2 cups. There we go. And by the time you're watching this, I'm already going to be dead. And the furry news will have already gone live, so you would have already seen our reactions to this. This is kind of like, I guess, it's like the fucking end of Cloverfield when they're on the bus and you see the fucking asteroid falling in the river behind him, and then that's like the whole movie.
Yes.
You see the lead up to it after everyone's already dead and everyone turned into zombies and shit. That's what's happening right here. This is the asteroid falling into the sea. Thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Darkside Khan, and this has been Cooking with the King, Cooking with the Khan. Stay tuned for the furry news. Thanks for subscribing to Gatorbox. I'll miss you all. See you at the crossroads. The crossroads.
No.
You probably already know who that is. I don't need to say anything else. This month's top story, not cool. I don't know if you've heard of it, but that's Cool Cat from the movie Cool Cat Saves the Kids. It's a anti-bullying, gun control. Kids look both ways before you cross the street. Bullies are just fat people with no friends. Shitty kids movie created by Derek Savage. Who's a man with an awesome name, but unfortunately his autistic grip on copyright law just invalidates it. It really sucks because he could have been like Fred Savage and could have been a fucking badass, but no, he fucks it up. There's a lot of backstory behind Cool Cat that I'm gonna have to skip over for the sake of brevity here. But basically the short of it is Cool Cat sucks at his job. Derek Savage is a massive closet furry, and Eric Estrada has become the most quotable person of the month. There he is. It's from the movie. Anyways, the shitstorm about copyright started on YouTube whenever the YouTube series I Hate Everything ran a video on Cool Cat as part of his Search for the Worst web series. Of course, this in turn is just riding the coattails of Your Movie Sucks, which kind of got this whole mess started. But Derek Savage was Googling himself, as all good people should do, and he found the I Hate Everything video, as well as some other ones, and he didn't like it, because it hurt his fifis, because people were making fun of this fucking asshole right here. People were making fun of that. It's hard not to make fun of Cool Cat. Look at his fucking face! Look at him! What's that Red Letter Media thing? Oh my god, what's wrong with your face? That's Cool Cat. Look at this asshole. So, Derek Savage throws down the DMCA violation on YouTube. It's a fake one. It's not, which is totally illegal. And basically, this drama fest came down to 2 points. Derek Savage posted a video of him trying to explain to us the law with the whatever. And B, I Hate Everything's video and the others were reinstated because of course they were. So Savage has, he's fallen silent about the matter, and he has instead gone to work on yet another gun safety video, which is slated to feature a Cool Cat cameo and is set for a 2016 release. Its Indiegogo page failed to raise enough money, however, according to Derek Savage himself, a producer, quote, swept in and bankrolled the production. So, you had a gun safety movie that, your crowdfunding failed to get however many fucking pennies you needed on Indie fucking Go-Go to make another movie. With your internet notoriety, you still failed. So great job. Also, since Derek Savage hates copyright so much and doesn't understand fair use and parody, you may have noticed I'm wearing a shirt that says "Neat Feline," which it's cropped out of that picture over there. He's wearing a shirt that says "Cool Cat" in case he forgets his own name. But you want to get in on this Neat Feline shit. You want to get on this ground floor meme. You can go over to whatsyiffin.com/no Derek's allowed, and you can pick up a Cool Cat. A Neat Feline shirt, a joke shirt. It's not a real Cool Cat shirt. No copyright infringement. You can't get me. DMCA that, Derek. Love it. Why don't you go back to modeling and Playgirl? Tony the Tiger came into the furry spotlight a few months ago when Gawker ran an article talking about how furries were sending sexually harassing messages to the mascot account on Twitter. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Tony the Tiger sells Frosted Flakes, which are like cornflakes covered in sugar, and they taste like shit.
and somehow the cereal is associated with sports, even though it's covered in sugar. I don't know how that works. Ask Kellogg's. I don't fucking know. Tony the Tiger has put his foot down and has started indiscriminately blocking furries, both those that tweet at him and those that don't, just in advance. This was likely done for obvious reasons, because they're concerned about children on Twitter, because Tony the Tiger is a children's cereal mascot. So they're worried about kids following Tony the Tiger on their, Twitter accounts, and then when they see Tony tweet about something, they don't want kids to see all the responses of that tweet saying like, "Hey Tony, come in my ass," or fucking, I don't fucking know. Just whatever the gross shit that furries tweet at Tony the Tiger because they're fucking immature as fuck. They want to protect kids from that, so they just started indiscriminately blocking furries. If you have an animal as an avatar on Twitter, Tony the Tiger has probably blocked you. Tony responded to the offensive tweets with a tweet of his own, the one you can see over to the side there, saying, "I'm all for showing your stripes and feathers, etc., but let's keep things great and family-friendly if you could. Cubs could be watching." And of course, because Tony said Cubs, you have to have the usual suspects, all the gross fuckers that are into Cubs, come out of the woodwork and say, "Hey, Tony's talking about Cubs. This is relevant to my interests." This whole mess began with Tony tweeting a picture of him reaching for some cereal boxes of his own cereal, because he's narcissistic like that. And he said the comment, "What are you reaching for this morning?" And you can imagine how furries reacted to that. The end result is that this tweet was deleted, and the hashtag TonyTigerGate started trending locally for several furs, because they blew it up and made that big of a deal about it. A very special demographic of furries started, they felt personally wronged by Tony and started flooding his account with all sorts of lewd messages to all of their other tweets, just for the sake of doing so, because this is 2016 and the fandom still hasn't grown the fuck up yet, and shunned or excluded those kinds of idiots. Bizarrely, the account for Chester Cheetah, the mascot for Cheetos, in case you somehow didn't know that as well, the fucking cheese puffs that taste like utter ass, he started tweeting to furries and interacting with them in a positive manner, I guess because the person who runs PR for Cheetos is fucking stupid. Either that, or he knows that Cheetos are the go-to food for exactly the types of disgusting troglodytes that would send lewd messages to a children's cereal mascot. So, it's either good PR or bad PR from Chester Cheetah. Whatever it is dangerously cheesy. My Little Porny is the name of this story. And what this means is it's actually tied in. It's a joke. It's a joke about Pornhub, the website where you go and you watch videos of people engaging in acts of benevolence. Pornhub every year does an end-of-the-year study where they take a look at all of their metrics and search terms and demographics, and they give you a bunch of charts. Basically, Pornhub turns into Pornhub for people who really like data and statistics. So they really, truly market to every single last fetish out there. So good on you, Pornhub. I appreciate that. I'm not into stats and graphics, but I know people who probably are, and they appreciate that. Anyways, as you can see over here, there are some search terms for the country of Russia, popular search terms in 2015. You can probably see what I'm about to start talking about here. My Little Pony is the 7th most popular search term in Russia in terms of geography. Like, that's not 7th overall. This is only for Russia. It actually jumped up 133 places to make it to number 7. So something happened in Russia that spawned a bunch of people to say, "Hey, I want to fuck a horse," all of a sudden. It actually gained a lot of search traction by seeing a 438% increase in frequency, so that probably had something to do with the fact why it's all the way up at number 7. Also worth pointing out, as you can tell from the graph over there, the ratio of searches for My Little Pony to anal is even 1 in 1. So for every one Russian looking for My Little Pony, there's another Russian looking for anal. It's 1 for 1. That's fucking crazy. And as for people looking for My Little Pony and anal at the same time, you're fucking up my joke. Please don't do that. And it's really not just Russia where we're seeing a increase in trend for animated porn and cartoon characters and shit. Because there's other places in the world, they're not as funny as this, and it has nothing to do with My Little Pony, which is why we focused on Russia. But for example, Pokemon started trending in Brazil because I guess when they went down there to film that Pokemon 20 Train On commercial, they really made an impression on Brazil. And also, in Romania, of all fucking things, Scooby-Doo is trending. Fucking Scooby-Doo. Wow, I can't think of something any more unsexy and unarousing than fucking Scooby-fucking-Doo. Romania, ladies and gentlemen. God bless Romania. Anyways, if you want to actually see the full Pornhub study, you can go to whatsyiffin.com/what'sreallyyiffin. And there's a link. There's a couple of pictures of the charts that we talked about here. And then there's a link to the whole big study, so you can spend an afternoon reading about what people jerk off to. Normally that wouldn't be of interest to anybody, but since this is a show about the furry fandom, I guess that's it. I guess there you go.
Zootopia hit theaters just at the beginning of the window for this episode's news. So our top story is called "Cry Anything." If you've seen the movie, you'd get the joke, but whatever. So the first thing I guess I'd like to point out is just kind of a general thing where there's people that are legitimately pissed off that there's going to be fans that are going to come up with what they call Zootopia OCs, which is you know, if you're watching this, you already get the joke. Yeah, that's a fursona. You don't have a Zootopia OC, you have a fursona. And there's all these people getting pissed off saying, oh, this is going to bring in a new wave of furries, and we don't want these fucking people here because they're going to be idiots, and no one fucking likes these people. It's just a bunch of fucking spoiled millennials saying this is their generation's Robin Hood and nobody else's, negating the fact that their generation already has a Robin Hood. It's fucking Robin Hood. I mean, the movie might be 40 years old, but that doesn't mean it's shit. And I guess it's worth pointing out that to all these people bitching about all these new people coming into the fandom, you were new yourself once upon a time. And so was I. And so was everybody else. We were all new once upon a time. We were new and a much more open, much more welcoming, much more open-minded, and less hostile furry fandom. So keep that in mind if you decide to be a piece of shit to new people that are here because of Zootopia. Zootopia is also a really big cash grab for people writing about entertainment because it's like, oh no, Disney, are they marketing to furries? What's going on? This is... I felt it would be worth the time to point out just one of them, but then, since there's dozens if not hundreds of articles, which one do I go with? Well, I settled on a writer named Emily Gaudette who writes for Inverse, and the reason I picked her out is because it's not because she's a woman or anything like that. She wrote an article in December blasting the movie, saying it's just furry pandering and it's just solicitation for the fandom and it's gross and it's sex and whatever. So then she revisited that article in March, now that the movie's been out, and she went to go see it. In her original article, she was talking about, oh, how there's sex jokes, and it's with underlying things, how Judy the Rabbit has 200 brothers and sisters, and Nick's three-humped camel joke. I hate to break it to you, but these aren't sex jokes. These are what's called mom and dad jokes, so that, when parents bring their fucking kids to these movies, at least there's something for them to laugh at, too. Like, the kids aren't going to get the three-humped camel joke. They're not going to get the fucking 200 brothers and sisters joke. That's for grown-ups. It's not necessarily sex. I mean, fucking everything has mom and dad jokes. Everything that's meant for kids has jokes for grown-ups. That's what that is. There's no furry conspiracy. So as you might imagine, Emily got dogpiled. She got not hounded. What's a word I can use that's not a fucking pun? So Emily got called out by a bunch of furries on social media for her bullshit article because she, like many other people before her, decided to cite the Vanity Fair article from 2001, which is such a common fucking string whenever I have to do these furry stories that if you remember last month, we brought up the fucking Vanity Fair article. I mean, it doesn't fucking go away. These people are not able to let this be in the past, and they keep bringing it up. Anyways, Emily, she went and saw the movie in March, and she wrote a new article, and she rescinded her former position, and she said I was wrong, and Zootopia is a great movie, and, whatever. And of course I'm fucking with you, because she actually doubled down, stood by her original claims, and even taunted the furries that called her out on social media, saying that she, quote, struck a nerve under all that faux fur. But really, Emily's article is just far-left garbage. I mean, that's plain and simple. That's all there is to it. It's not even worth reading. A lot of the gripes that she brings up about the movie is how in Zootopia, there's no like single moms or dads. There's no gay couples and things like that. Every couple is either married and or heterosexual. So that's
problematic. She even uses that fucking word in the article. And also she cites that Judy saying things like, well, bunnies can call other bunnies cute, but when somebody else says it, eh. And then she gets on Nick's case for fucking with the hair of the mayor's assistant. She's a lamb, so she has an afro, essentially. And Nick is fucking with it. And she tells him not to do that. And these are basically supposed to be analogs for, I guess, what black people have to deal with, you know, with saying, we can say the N-word, but, well, not we. They can say the N-word, but I can't. And it's inappropriate for me to walk up and just start fucking with someone's afro. Yeah, no shit. I guess my question is there nothing fucking good enough for you? Like, what the fuck is the matter with you people? It's a goddamn kids movie, and at its core, the movie deals with the issues of racial stereotypes, and that's it. It doesn't need to be anything more than that, because that's all it's supposed to do. It's not some bullshit too deep for you film meant to call out every single flaw of the cis white devil. I think it's kind of fucked up to A, think it's appropriate to shoehorn in lessons about sexuality into a children's movie, and B, suggest that Disney isn't doing enough in its movies to promote racial equality. And things of that nature. Because, I mean, the fact is, at the end of the movie, it's implied that Nick and Judy are, like, in a relationship, so that's an interracial couple, by the definition of what the movie's supposed to be about. So, there you have it. And, it's not that Disney's failing to put in all these other different lessons, because if you want lessons about single-parent households, I'm pretty sure in the movie Toy Story, Andy comes from a family where it's just his mother and his father's not in the picture, and it's often cited in The Lion King that Timon and Pumbaa are kind of an analog for a gay couple that raises Simba. They kind of adopt Simba after, you know, his father dies whenever Scar throws him off the fucking cliff or whatever it is. So, Disney has these lessons in their movies, and they've had these lessons in their movies for a very long time. It's just more convenient to choose to harp on movies that don't have it when they're trying to teach something completely fucking different. And as my man Nick says, in Zootopia, anyone can be anything. And you, Emily, are a fucking asshole. Oh, and Bad Dragon also made Zootopia-themed sex toys. There's that. And I have to just say, I'm really proud of all of the news story headlines that I came up with this month, because usually there's some shitty throwaway ones, but I like all these. This one's my favorite. Roastmaster, one of the writers here at Gatorbox, he usually helps put together like the news stories and helps write the outlines and stuff. But I come up with all these. This is a story about Samael, I don't know how to pronounce. That's the thing, is like, I've written news copy before, and when you have something that's really hard to pronounce, you do like the name, and then in parentheses you write out like it's phonetic with the stressed syllables in all caps. I don't get to do that here, so it's really weird. So I sound like a fucking idiot. Like, if people are like, "That's not how you pronounce that name." But anyways, this is about. So sorry. Let's just go with that, because that's what this name is a reference to. That's the fucking thing. It's Undertale, okay? It's fucking Undertale. Samael Butter Dragon is a self-proclaimed, and I'm gonna read this real quick, autistic, fat, poly, and potentially non-binary furry with anxiety disorder. If you're assuming I took that, I just lifted that description from a Tumblr, you're goddamn right I did. Samael recently posted a tell-all to his Tumblr about his experiences with donating to the Undertale Kickstarter and ultimately having his character, his fursona, which was put into the game as the boss battle, or the mini-boss battle, So Sorry. So just to recap, Samael contributed $1,000 fucking dollars to the Kickstarter to have his character put into the game. Things were fine until Toby Fox, the person who created Undertale, found out just what level of crazy he was dealing with. Toby, he's the guy, he worked on Homestuck before this, I believe, so he knows cancer when he sees it. He's like a fucking, he has an honorary PhD in like fucking chemotherapy, because he knows. As soon as Toby realized what he was getting into, he actually offered Samael a complete refund and said, "Hey, let's call this off. This is for your own good." You know, basically, Toby he Googled this guy, or somebody else Googled him and told him about it, and Toby was like, "Holy shit, this person's fucking crazy." Despite this, Samael insisted on his fursona being in the game. I mean, he donated $1,000. He could have put whatever he wanted into the game. It didn't have to be his fursona. It's just he couldn't fucking remove himself from how much. He said he was autistic in his Tumblr profile. Let's just use that as the excuse, and let's move along. So Sorry ended up being added into the game. Toby figured it would take people a few months to find him. Instead, it turns out it took him like a fucking week. People were not really enthused because I should also point this out. The $1,000 Kickstarter perk was something called the Fan Troll, which I'm not... That seems like a Homestuck thing, according to what I read. So basically, it's a fan character that becomes canonical in the game. But I mean, Undertale's full of a bunch of stupid bullshit anyways. So to me, some fucking fat furry fetish character like So Sorry, it fits right in the narrative to me because I don't know jack shit. I just know the game is full of fucking talking skeletons and a fucking goat MILF. So Samael ended up getting harassed by a bunch of people. And not to sound like a piece of shit, but he was warned about it. He wasn't just warned directly, but also indirectly as well. This isn't just about Toby saying, hey, let me give you your money back. Maybe we shouldn't do this. No, Samael alleges that Toby removed the cool secret that his character was supposed to be and gave that to another backer, which I don't know if that's true or not. That there's no way to substantiate that, but it sounds completely fucking plausible. He claims that So Sorry was hidden in such a way that implied disdain or shame or something like that, which again, totally fucking understandable, but it's not something that can be proven because your character and internet footprint are so gross that the creator offered to refund you $1,000 fucking dollars so that he wouldn't have to put up with it. And he would also save you some fucking ridicule in the process because Undertale's popularity exploded. The game, I don't like the game, but it surpassed all of its stretch goals. It got funded on a Kickstarter and then passed all the stretch goals by about $6,000. So I think Toby knew ahead of time that this game was becoming something bigger than he thought it was going to be, and he wanted to save this person some fucking trouble. Here's the thing. Samael has the audacity to say that Toby's treatment was dehumanizing and that So Sorry's ultimate presence in Undertale goes against, quote, the meaning and the moral of the game. Wow. Look, I don't like this game because its fan base does shit like this. But Toby doesn't deserve this level of bullshit. I have nothing but the utmost amount of respect for him because he has had to put up with a lot of fucking asshole-ish people and a lot of goddamn drama for his game. Toby warned him, and Samael was too stupid to know otherwise, even when danger was spelled out to him. Toby actually responded to Samael's journal with the patience of a fucking saint. In a few short sentences, Toby said, "Hey, I warned the guy and he insisted on being in the game. Sure, he's weird, but try not to give him a hard time." Ladies and gentlemen, Undertale. Pokemon Go was released on July 6th, and man, it's fucking something. For those of you not in the know, or for those of you who unfortunately use Windows Phone, which if you do, I feel you have my utmost condolences and sympathy because I used to be like you until I fucking grew a pair of balls and got a real man's phone. Pokemon Go is a new mobile game that lets you catch Pokemon in real life by means of what the new marketing buzzword is: augmented reality. It's not virtual reality because you're not walking around wearing some fucking giant Michael Phelps goggles that you see Pokemon in. You just wave your phone around like a goddamn idiot and you see Pokemon using your phone's camera. Anyways, there's a fuck ton of news about this game that's happened in just the past month, and since we only do this show once a month, there is no fucking way I'm going to get into all the different topics about Pokemon Go. So I'm going to do my best, I'm going to go quick, and if I miss something, Google it. First things first, right off the bat, Pokemon Go is the most downloaded, most played mobile game of all time in the world, period, bar none. You can think of every mobile game that's ever been released, all the shit. All this shit. Fucking Angry Birds, fucking Fruit Ninja, fucking Candy Crush Saga, Where's My Water, Cut the Rope, all that shit. All the shit that you get invites to play on Facebook. Everything. Literally fucking everything. Pokemon Go has beat that. So that's the one thing that I appreciate Nintendo for doing is fucking mobile games are cancer, and here's a mobile game that is not. But of course, being the smash hit that it is, Pokemon Go has attracted droves of people who look at something good, something that's getting people to go out and walk around and be fit and meet friends and socialize. They look at something that is enriching culture, society, and they say, how can I make this sound bad for some clickbait? News outlets started running articles about idiots being injured while playing the game, blaming the app itself when, of course, the game warned you on its opening goddamn screen not to be a fucking retard while you play it. In fact, Niantic has added not one, but 2 updates that add additional warning messages into the game, where after you see the initial warning, you get another one that's some random general advice like, hey, don't trespass. Hey, don't do anything dangerous. Hey, don't drive and play with your phone at the same time. And then the second update, if you're moving faster than 15 miles an hour, the game knows you're in a goddamn car, and it gives you a little pop-up that says, hey, motherfucker, what do we tell you about driving and playing this goddamn game? Stupid is as stupid does, and you're going to see a lot of Darwinism in play. Somebody has died while playing this game, so there you go. There's your candidate for Darwin Awards 2016. Dumbass trying to catch Charmander. And of course, Tumblr and the culture surrounding it has doubled down on being triggered, saying that Pokemon Go is not just racist, it's also ableist. Articles were shared stating Pokemon Go is dangerous to play if you are black. The justification being wandering around in the middle of the night is suspicious, as is waving your phone around everywhere. Who knows? Maybe you're taking places of marks, or places that you want to go shoot up with the Glock that we all know that every black person carries on them everywhere they go. Here's a simpler solution. You shouldn't be playing in the middle of the night anyways, because that's dangerous. And waving your phone around is going to draw negative attention to you no matter what the color of your skin is, if not to make people believe that you're trying to rob something, or just to prove that you have an expensive phone and you're clearly distracted and somebody can run up and just fucking take it from you. Ableism entered the fray because the physically disabled are allegedly just not able to play this game. It's just completely not compatible. They don't meet the minimum system requirements for it. One article that I saw while doing research for this video, they had an article header that somebody had drawn. It was like artwork. I'm not going to call it fan art. It was art. I don't even call it art. It was a picture that somebody had drawn of a white girl walking around with her phone, and then that's because she's ableist. And then on the other half of the picture, it was literally a fucking black girl in a wheelchair playing a game, playing Pokemon on the fucking TV. Like, they literally had to unfold the fucking bingo card and just go, doot, doot, doot. We're gonna have Whitey out there playing the game, and we're gonna have a disabled POC playing the game on the TV because no one wants to hang out with her, negating the fact that I've seen people with crutches and missing limbs and wheelchair. Fuck it. I've seen disabled people playing Pokemon Go. You've seen disabled people playing Pokemon Go. The game is not ableist. It's just people trying to act triggered for the sake of being triggered and because they want to get some hot Patreon bucks. There's also tons of memes with Pokemon Go, ranging from the 3 in-game alliances to the fact that the only Pokemon you ever fucking see are Pidgey and Rattata. There's no way I'm going to be able to cover all the memes. This is not hot meme news. This is furry news. So I'm gonna hit the biggies. 2 ones. Hillary Clinton said Pokemon go to the polls in one of her fucking speeches. That's cringy. P.S. Don't vote for her. Also, there was another meme going around where people were like, hey, let's do something good for the community. Go down to your nearest children's hospital and use a lure so that all the kids that have fucking cancer and terminal illnesses can play Pokemon on their phones in their beds before they die. That was nice, except for the fact that the lures attracted a bunch of fucking neckbeards to go loiter around outside of the hospitals and getting in the way of emergency vehicles. So, good job, autists. Way to go. Top notch. Niantic, thankfully, has been pretty good about fixing all the patches, with the glaring exception of what was known as the 3-step glitch. Whenever you're scouting for Pokemon in the game, you hit nearby, it would show you pictures of Pokemon that are nearby, as well as anywhere from 1 to 3 footsteps showing you how close or how far away they were. Well, something broke this, and everything was 3 steps away, and it basically made it impossible to track shit in the game. This, in turn, gave rise to things like Pokevision and other third-party apps that scrubbed the game and told you on like a Google Maps applet where Pokemon were and which ones they were. So it would help you find the Pokemon that were nearby. Like if you're walking around, you're like, I really want this goddamn Electabuzz or the Scyther or whatever else is fucking rare from Generation 1. You go on Pokevision, you use your phone's coordinates. It says, oh, it's actually if you walk 3 blocks that way and go left, it's at the place that looks like a snow cone stand, but you can also buy drugs from. Niantic sent cease and desist letters to all of these developers saying, hey, that's cheating. Negating the fact that they wouldn't have any need for Pokevision if your fucking game worked in the first place. So they have since completely done away with with 3 steps, because I guess they couldn't fix it, and they've instead changed it to something called sightings, and that's too new for anyone to complain about, so there's no news on that. Maybe stick around next month. Maybe we'll have some more hot, juicy Pokemon Go news of people bitching about not being able to catch basically glorified Tamagotchis. Finally, it's the last point, I promise. The release of Pokemon Go and its ensuing popularity has caused a small but still kind of vocal pool of Ingress players to adopt a really salty hipster mindset, saying, "Oh, I play. Fuck, I don't have any shitty Phil Fish facial hair that I can just put on. I don't even know why I looked over here like I had a fucking fake beard just sitting there. I don't even. People were saying like, I played Pokemon Go before it was cool, and then it shows like a screenshot of Ingress. Shut the fuck up. You're just upset that the wider gaming population didn't give 2 shits about your stupid-ass, high-concept AR game until Nintendo added Pokemon to it to get people's attention. That's what it took to make your game better and to get people to give a shit about it. Deal with it. Save money, live worse. I realize you've stopped listening to me now. You're looking at this picture over there saying, is this another fucking Rainfurrest story? It is not. It's not Rainfurrest. We're done. Rainfurrest is dead. They cut down the Rainfurrest and they put up a parking lot. Paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Remember that song? Crinkle Shorts is an ABDL/Babyfur story anthology series. It was recently spotted for sale at Walmart.com. Authored by Little Foxy, the series is self-described as exploring anthropomorphic ABDL relationships in settings from the mundane to the magical and places in between. That's. There are 2 installments of Crinkle Shorts, totaling over 600 pages of quality content, and as of this recording, both volumes are still for sale for the always low price of $16.90 each. Also, just want to throw this out here, free shipping on orders over $50, so that means that you could buy both of these books, plus a pack of Depends if you're a sick fuck, and you get free shipping on that order. The books are not actually for sale in physical Walmart stores. This is an online-only thing, and the reason for this is that Walmart isn't actually even carrying this item. It's being published and sold through something called Lulu.com, which is a print-by-the-order vanity press that's kind of like to books what Zazzle.com is to t-shirts, if that makes any sense. So Crinkle Shorts is only available on Walmart.com because of an existing partnership between Lulu and Walmart, I guess. It's likely just the result of Little Foxy putting a little tick mark in his Lulu profile that allows his book to be sold on other places. Because, yeah, I checked, you can also find it on Amazon.com, where it's $3 more, I might add. What the fuck, Amazon? Lots of the reviews that are left for these 2 books, as you're probably guessing, have been left by trolls and people who just comb Amazon for stupid products and leave LOL so funny random 9gag reviews because it's fucking cancer. However, there are some legitimate reviews that have been left by, I guess, Babyfur furries, and a common theme that I noticed through these reviews, which are generally like 2-star reviews for a product that's catering to their niche demographic, is that the stories are very depressing and deal with like suicide and shit like that, which is not something I would expect from something that's like clearly pornographic. Now, as an outsider looking in, it's really easy for me to just go, gee, stories about furry shitting in diapers are depressing. Color me surprised. But when you're getting this type of feedback from the people that you're catering to, there's one of exactly 2 scenarios at play here. The first is that the writing is just absolutely bottom of the barrel, terrible garbage. The second is that the writing in Crinkle Shorts is so on point that it's causing its readers to experience truths and self-reflections that they are not able to handle, like some fucking bucket of truth nonsense. Also, yes, that was an Upright Citizens Brigade reference in a story about baby furs. The 57th episode of the Sonic Boom cartoon recently premiered. It was named The Biggest Fan, and the episode focuses around a socially awkward character named Mark, who's this, he's this pudgy, I think he's supposed to, fuck, I gotta point this way. This is the opposite of what it used to be. Mark over there, next to Sonic. He's this socially awkward, clingy fan with really big glasses. Does that sound familiar? I mean, Where have you seen? He even kind of looks like the person in question if you squint. So what if I told you? What if I told you this character directly references Sonic's arms being blue? So if you haven't caught on yet, the geniuses at Sega have done it again, and they managed to slip yet another Chris Chan reference into the Sonic the Hedgehog mythos. So now Christian Chandler is technically canon to the Sonic universe. Of course, the writers of the show came out on Twitter and they were like, no, it's not about Chris Chan, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, canonically, no, but, I mean, fucking, come on. Who else could that possibly be? Chris actually watched the episode, took to Facebook after the airing, and stated, let me read this quote here, despite the segment on the arm color in the portrait, and the common fat glasses and hair on Mark the Tapir, oh, he's a Tapir, I personally see no resemblance of myself in the Mark character, especially in how far he took it to keep being able to be near Sonic. I am not mental or crazy like that at all. So, remember that Chris Chan, this is coming from somebody who at one time violated a restraining order against a hobby store that he had been kicked out of, and then ran the owner of the hobby store over with his car, and also there was the whole macing a dude at GameStop for defacing the Sonic Boom posters. Don't call anybody fiasco. Yeah, he's not mental or crazy like that at all, right? Earlier this year, we did a story about the Furry Raiders, which is a group of idiots unironically calling themselves Nazis, and on their fursuits, they even got the fucking band, but instead of a swastika, it's a paw print, and these fucking edgelords think they're hilarious, and they're not. But earlier this month, their polar opposite has risen to power on social media in the form of the anti-fascist furries. It's a thing. So now you have the Nazi furs and you have the anti-Nazi furries. And you might be saying to yourself, Draco, don't most people who make it past the 3rd grade conventionally dislike Nazis and understand why they're bad people and don't usually need a reminder? Yes. Yes, absolutely. However, because this is current year, we now have a growing collective of loudmouths on the far left trying to drown out the shitposting and dumb opinions of what's colloquially known as alt-furry. Literally. These are things that are happening. And here's the thing. I appreciate what you people are trying to do on a social level from purely a social standpoint, but stop. Both of you, actually, both of you. Stop. Just fucking stop. The furry fandom. Let me soapbox for a second. The furry fandom is not your platform to espouse whatever stupid political opinions you have. This is a community that, when I joined it a million goddamn years ago, it was about art, it was about storytelling, it was about role playing, and it was about nerdy shit like furry comics and Robin Hood. And what it was, that's it. It's those 4 things, and it wasn't about politics. It wasn't about anything else other than anthropomorphic animals. So the fact that people are using it to inject whatever senseless messages that they fancy, it upsets me. What these people fail to understand, additionally, is that someone that has opinions that are slightly more conservative than your own, it doesn't make him a Nazi, it doesn't make him a fascist. And by calling them that, what you're actually doing here is you're devaluing the meaning of the word Nazi. Like, there's a reason why people are like, oh, that person's a Nazi. Because it evokes a very specific set of thoughts and feelings when you hear the word. Like, that's the thing. We've played so many games on this stream where you just shoot Nazis, like that shitty Forgotten Ones game. Why are we shooting Nazis? Who fucking cares? They're Nazis. Like, they are below humanity because of their war crimes. So when you just throw this word out willy-nilly, you're actually taking away its meaning. Because I'm pretty sure your neighbor who voted for Trump doesn't want to see all the black people rounded up in a paddy wagon and taken to Holocaust 2.0. I also just want to point out that many of the people who are a part of this group that I have seen have posted a lot of really snarky messages downplaying and writing off people whose personas are Sergals. which is a fictional. It's a fictional species that's specific to this autistic art fandom, and I just want to point out that when you take a group of people that all have a fictional race in common that they identify with, and you write off the entire group as just being a bunch of racist edgelords, that's fucking racist. That's racist. It might just be furry personas, but that's racist. If you look at somebody and say, he has a Sergal as an avatar, I bet he voted for Trump, that is identical to saying, look at that Mexican over there, I bet he doesn't work and he's here illegally and he's taking resources that were meant for me and the other white people in this country. My closing remarks and my hopes for 2017 for this fandom. If you don't have the ability to discuss politics in a humane and social manner, humane and civil manner, rather, get out. If you want to try and make the furry fandom a platform for political discourse, get out. If you condone the groupthink of identity politics and put non-binary pronouns in your social media profiles, get out. If you are irrationally compelled to make fun of and harass people who put non-binary pronouns in their social media profiles, get out. If your opinions on Gamergate, on either side, and anybody involved with it, is anything other than, wow, all of these people are retarded, get out. If you believe that harassment and tampering with someone's offline lives in lieu of debating with them is acceptable behavior, get out. If you are too mentally stunted to understand this fandom for what it was meant to be, just get the fuck out. Leave and either grow up and come back or don't come back at all. Because the fact of the matter is that me and everyone else who are just here to enjoy the art, to enjoy the comics, to enjoy the community centered around anthropomorphic animals don't want you here. I'm gonna catch some flack for that. I know it. You probably knew it was. You probably know it's coming. Schmorky, which this is he's been a potential. This train wreck has been going on for so long. This has been a potential story for like 3 months. Schmorky, if you don't know who it is, his name is Dave Kelly, and he is a former member of the furry fandom who was shunned from the fandom after joining Something Awful, which at the time was notorious for being anti-furry and low-tax, would just ban furries on site and all this other shit. So Schmorky smooth-talked his way into Something Awful, whereas the people who knew who he was were like, hey, what's this shit? Why aren't you banning this guy? He draws diaper fur art. He's exactly who you make fun of, and you're just letting him waltz on in. So he got excommunicated from the fandom for that. If you're asking what this is on the side, though, that's a Clerf. That's basically his. That's the Schmorky persona. Not that specific. I don't even know. You know, This is what summarizes Schmorky. Just an awkward Tumblr drawing of Ness as a marshmallow demon. So, like I said, Schmorky, originally known as Dave Bunny, then as Cave Deli, and also known as Sandy Pants and Peaches the Puppy. Chances are, at the rate that at the rate that these discoveries have been going, you might actually be a Schmorky alt, and you don't even know it. You might actually be. So you might want to make sure real quick. And there's been a lot of information that's been trickling in over the past couple of months, namely in regards to Schmorky's victim complex, how abusive he was toward former dating partners, how irresponsible he was when he was employed by Something Awful, and of course the Babyfur artwork, which just predates everything. A 91-page explicit chat log of diaper / water sports / scat / I'm gonna throw up now roleplay between Schmorky and a minor was recently leaked to the Kiwi farms and then subsequently spread everywhere else, and now everybody's seen it. Everyone's seen the chat logs. These stories have been authenticated. They're true. And if they weren't true, Schmorky would not have been suicide baiting, and he has been in a hospital, apparently. Maybe. No one knows if that hasn't been validated. So again, we don't know. Lotax was making fun of it, so it's probably not true. Show us some of that sweet Clurf porn. Hell no. I'm not gonna get my stream. I'm not gonna get my stream shut down. I'm not gonna get my stream shut down because you want to see this thing's dick and/or vagina. Basically, Lotax turned his back on Schmorky, and rightfully so, because he's upset and personally offended that a pedophile got so close to his kids. Lotax is a dad now, and he had to have the talk with his oldest daughter because a potential child molester was in her vicinity. So now he had to have this talk to find out, holy shit, was Schmorky asking my daughter about her farts or if she poops her pants or some shit? Because it's not going to be. This is so fucked up, because it's not just like Schmorky was like, don't tell no one I'm touching, don't tell no one. No, what happened is that it's a very roundabout way, because he's not the forthcoming type of pedophile that just wants to put his dick in a kid. No, he wants to eat your kid's poop. So this is, I'm not envious that I don't have to ever have that conversation with one of my children. So, Lotax, I am very sorry that you had to go through that. Schmorky has a Patreon, as you've probably guessed. It's tanking. Although the people who... There are people... Don't ever do the voice again, I'm sorry. That wasn't supposed to be a Schmorky impression. It's just a shitty voice. There actually are people sticking up for Schmorky, and they're actually defending him by equating him with Lotax, saying, yeah, Schmorky sure is gross, but hey, let's talk about Lotax. No, let's not talk about Lotax here. Lotax's biggest crime is being a fucking asshole. That's it. Schmorky's biggest crime is role-playing erotic poop eating with someone who was 16 years old. That's fucked up. I don't care what park you're playing ball in, this is two separate ballparks. And now everyone who's in chat was like, I've been a Schmorky alt, and now you find out who he is, and you're like, oh shit, I'm not a Schmorky alt. You know, let me bring this down. Let me break this down. Let me break this down. Let me get the camera. Okay, we good? We good? All right, this is Schmorky. I'm talking to you right now. This is a message only for you, Everybody else, fingers in your ears. Turn away. Don't look. Don't worry about the people in Twitch chat. Dave, it's over. It's over. Trust me on this. Get some help. Cut it out. Just wipe off the makeup. Take off the stupid boy girl hat. Go see a fucking therapist. For fuck's sake, you used to work for one of the biggest comedy websites on the fucking planet. You've done bumpers for Adult Swim. You had a possible deal with Cartoon Network and you pissed it away over identity politics. Get over yourself, you stupid motherfucker. I know so many people who would kill to have the same opportunities that you've just pissed away. All because you want to wear a fucking diaper and roleplay with kids. Get some fucking help, buddy. In fact, I've just titled this story "The Worst Thing Ever," and I refuse to actually put a picture of it. I refuse to put a picture of it up because it is so gross. Let me just pop a question out there. Remember the Rainbow Dash cum jar, the copy pasta that made its way on 4chan around the internet a few years ago? I bet you probably thought that was like a disgusting one-off demonstration of the absolute worst of 4chan, and that's it. But you would be exceptionally incorrect. The mastermind behind the Rainbow Dash cum jar, he wasn't kidding when he said his goal was to, and I have a quote that I'm going to be deferring to, quote, submerge a Rainbow Dash figurine in a jar of his own semen, end quote. He toiled away at this for 3 years. 3 fucking years. And long after the world forgot about him and his stupid project, he returned to show off the fruits of his labor. I'm not going to show a picture of it, and I suggest you do not seek them out. Because to be honest, I don't even want to describe what I saw, because just thinking about it makes me sick. And that is not an exaggeration. I saw the pictures. I've seen the pictures because this is the shit that I stumbled upon when I was trying to find stories to do this month's news. And I saw it, and then I read the description, and I will, in lieu of me not telling you what it is, let me just use the artist's own words, how he described how it smelled. And I'm going to quote this again. 1,000 corpses that had been soaking in water for 200 years. Maybe you should buy a puzzle or something, or build a model. Don't do this. That's a little far for a joke, especially when it was posted the first time and the toy was like knee deep in old jizz. That was gross. That was already bad. That was already really bad. This shit is so filthy, Filthy Frank wouldn't even do it. He would call you a nasty motherfucker. Oh yeah, no, you're right. You people in chat that are telling me what the chemical composition of semen, what happens to it when it just sits out for a long time. Trust me, I know. I've seen the pictures. It's brown. After a 12-year run, over a decade, Disney has announced that the massively popular kids MMO Club Penguin will be shutting down for good. And they've picked March 29th as kind of the D-Day for pulling out the plug, because this coincides with the release of Club Penguin's official successor, the mobile game Club Penguin Island. So you still got 2 months. Also, you might need to register a new account if you'd like to go back and log in and relive some memories, because at one point they just started pruning accounts that were like they hadn't been logged in for like a year. So chances are, if you had an account as a kid, it's gone and you got to re-register. Even though this is a game for kids, I kind of feel like it's safe to say that our younger viewers here on Gatorbox, even the ones who just now turned 18, will remember Club Penguin, because if you're 18, you were fucking 6 years old when this game came out. So I'm pretty sure you probably played it, or you knew someone who did. This story hits kind of close to home for me because 11 fucking years ago, I was hired by Miniclip to run customer service for the growing Club Penguin community, and it was the best 5 years of my life. And some of the people that I met back then, I'm still in touch with today. And for me, it was a very humbling and meaningful experience to be involved with this game, because I know now that I was kind of helping govern what was most likely the first online escapades of an entire generation. Now, granted, not everybody played Club Penguin, but a fucking shitload of people did. And for all the headaches and all the grief I got back in the day, it was all worth it. But even though I'm waxing nostalgically myself, there is a little bit of interesting news. As a send-off before the game shuts down, Club Penguin has finally made it possible to tip the iceberg. Let me explain. The iceberg is a location you can go to in the game, and a long time ago, people would be like, "Oh, you could tip the iceberg if you stand on the ledge of it," and people would try to do it, and you couldn't do it. It sounds stupid, but this was fucking huge. Like, tipping the iceberg is to Club Penguin what Mew is hidden underneath the truck is to the old Pokemon games. It was something that there were all of these fucking fake guides that people put out online, and it'd be like, oh, you can tip the iceberg if you put on this outfit and you log in, but you have to see Rockhopper the penguin, and you have to be a secret agent. You have to have the agent phone. You have to have all the fucking medals inside your phone, and then it only happens from a certain time period, and you have to throw a snowball just right. Like, fuck that. You cannot tip the iceberg. But I think it's really cool that
the Club Penguin, even though it's owned by Disney and they bought the game for like $700 million goddamn dollars a long time ago, they still give a shit. They remembered, and I think that's the coolest fucking thing. So if you tip the iceberg, you're rewarded with a hat for your character, and on the underside of the berg is a golden placard that reads, I'm going to read this quote here: "Together we can build an island, create a community, change the world, and even tip an iceberg. Waddle on." That's fucking crazy. I don't know, like, it's just so weird. Like, I haven't been involved with Mini Clip or Club Penguin for well over half a decade now, but hearing that it's closing, it's kind of like, well, it's like an era of my life officially has a bookend on it, and the fact that it's being bookended with them bringing to life the biggest goddamn hoax in the game is like, I don't know if it's like a master troll or if these people are just fucking amazing. Sufferin SUCC-otash with 2 C's. Straight out of 1959, Hanna-Barbera's cartoon character Snagglepuss is making his way back into the limelight this coming March with a comic reboot. And Snagglepuss is next in the he's next in the line of reboots by DC Comics featuring classic cartoon characters, and follows in the footsteps of a more realistic interpretation of the Flintstones that's about like social commentary, and something called Scooby Apocalypse. And if that just doesn't sound like the worst fucking thing ever, I have no idea. They're actually they're trying to give him a backstory. They're making him he's going to be a gay playwright. So that just means he's a regular playwright, and his story is going to revolve around working in the New York theater and acting scene of like the 1950s. And clearly the major takeaway here is that Snagglepuss is homosexual, which is something that was never actually confirmed by Hanna-Barbera or anybody else, because in the 60s when these cartoons were on television originally, it wasn't kosher. People didn't talk about that. I mean, for fuck's sake, like on Leave It to Beaver, the parents slept in 2 separate goddamn beds. So they may have pushed the envelope by making Fred and Wilma Flintstone literally the first on-screen couple to share a bed together, but I guess they just weren't feeling it with cartoon cats that suck dicks. The Snagglepuss reboot will be available in comic book stores, in March. That's when it's coming out. So if you want to, I don't think there's not going to be full penetration. I'm not sure. I did my research for this story, but I don't know if it's going to be Snagglepuss is going to be getting the puss, if he's going to be giving his boy puss to other cats, to like Top Cat or Sylvester or Tom or it's all the cartoon cats. I'm out. Back in Black. That's a good fucking name pun. That's a good headline pun, and if you disagree, fuck you. Squeak Latex. They are an independent company within the fandom that specializes in latex costumes, both inflatable and non-inflatable. But clearly, you can probably guess like what their target market is. Their most popular product. Their most popular product is an inflatable suit imitating that scene from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Do you have any idea what scene I'm talking about?
The blueberry one.
Yes. See, you know more than you think. Unfortunately, the rise of cheap Chinese imitations of products similar to theirs started to put the hurt on Squeak Latex's bottom line. And in the middle of last year, they actually made an announcement saying that the company was up for sale, open to offers, and buyers of the company would get all the assets, including all their trademarks, all their designs, all their products, all their patents. They get the whole shebang-a-bang. It officially becomes their problem. Either no offers were made, or there were offers, but they couldn't lock in a deal. But the good news is, Squeak Latex broke their radio silence of months-long radio silence. And they announced that they are back in business and that they're ready to start taking and fulfilling orders again, or pumping up orders, as they said in their blog post. I have to be honest with you, like we used the logo off to the side over there and not a picture of like one of their costumes, because I think their costumes are kind of scary in this weird like visceral way. Like, from a craftsmanship standpoint, it's fucked up. Like, from a craftsmanship standpoint, I really appreciate, like, I appreciate the workmanship that goes into these costumes, but, like, the reptile part of my brain is like, no, out of this house. But even though their products clearly are not for me, not for us, I think it's always good to see a niche company like Squeak Latex able to get by in the furry fandom. So congrats on you, Squeak Latex. Congratulations on 100 years in the business. Here's to 100 more. May your dreams, don't let your memes be dreams, and pump that shit up like a pair of Air Jordans, buddy. The Academy Awards recently took place, also known as the Oscars, and lots of awards were given out. Not unlike this Golden ET Award, they were given out to actors and media executives whose work and performances were less bad than all the others. And one of the more, hang on to that, look proud. One of the more contested and anticipated categories this year was for Best Animated Picture, of which Zootopia, hailed as this generation's Robin Hood, won. Also in the running for the other nominations were Kubo and the Two Strings, My Life as a Zucchini, The Red Turtle, and Moana. Are you doing, like, Monster Jam poses with that over there? I haven't heard of the Zucchini or Turtle movies, but I did see Kubo, and from a technical standpoint, it's all stop motion. What the fuck? It's so, from a technical standpoint, it's all stop motion, and I think it was a great movie, Bob. Back to you. But I mean, that's the thing, is that, like, Kubo and the Two Strings, even if it was a good movie, if Zootopia lost, you know it was going to be Moana that was going to win. So any way you slice it, fucking poor Kubo was like a solid third place any way you slice it. But anyways, if you're still butthurt about Zootopia winning an Oscar, I got one thing to say to you. It's called a hustle, sweetheart. Remember this prop? I still have it. You know who this is?
I'm guessing that's the guy from the show.
Yeah, but do you know what his name is?
No.
Good man. For many of you, this has been a long time coming, this announcement. Rainfurrest has announced that their flagship convention is officially no more. Rainfurrest has cropped up several times in the history of What's Yiffin, almost about as often as FurAffinity fucking things up. But if this is your first time, hearing about it, case in point, let me get you up to speed. And I have a helpful little guide right here I'm gonna rattle off of, just so I don't forget any points. Rainfurrest 2015 is considered to be one of the biggest convention disasters in the history of the fandom, and is remembered as a convention where baby fur and fetish antics got completely out of hand. Do you know what baby furs are?
No. Oh, little kids.
You're close. Are you willing to take a guess?
They're not like babies, are they?
They're not. Physically, no.
Okay.
Physically, no. They're the people that wear diapers.
Oh.
They roleplay as babies. They wear diapers, and they wear diapers in public. And that was specifically one of the problems. And it wasn't just diaper fuckers. It was also people wearing, like, leather bondage gear and those fucking Squeak Latex costumes we talked about a second ago. The police, fire departments, emergency plumbers were called during the con. There was a Denny's that had to close. Property damage was sustained to the SeaTac Hilton, which is the hotel venue it was at. Both pools were closed, and smoke detectors were tampered with. Now, I know on airplanes that's a federal offense, but I don't know. Do you know off the top of your head if you fuck with smoke detectors in general, is that against the law?
I don't think so. I don't know though. It sounds like it would be, though.
Yeah, because it's something you're clearly not supposed to do, but anyways, people did it anyways. There were also arguments were raised that were made that Rainfurrest was not revoking or banning enough badges to actually do something about the problem and maintain control of their fucking shit show. And the SeaTac Hilton was so displeased that they broke their contract. They broke their 2-year contract. They just fucking, I would imagine they just fucking ripped it up, and they were just like, get out. And they told them not to come back for 2016. And so Rainfurrest went looking for a 2016 venue, but their reputation preceded them, and they couldn't make a deal. And now
now we're at present day, where Rainfurrest has announced their closure. And so I guess the big question here is why? Why did this happen? How did this happen? What could have been done to prevent this? And really, it comes down to adaptation. Most of the other major conventions out there had established very hard rules against the portrayal and partaking of fetish things in the public zone, and limitations on what you can bring to the vendors' rooms and the artist rooms and all that stuff like that. So Rainfurrest was slow to adapt the rules, if not just ignore them completely. So they became known as DiaperCon. Literally, that's what they became known as. Actually, you know what? Since we were just talking about the Oscars, or the Oscars, the Academy Awards a second ago with Zootopia and all that, how about we do one of those in memoriam tribute things? You know what I'm talking about? Like, for all the celebrities that die, they do the in memoriam and they play the sad music and stuff. We can do one for Rainfurrest to pay our final respects. And coincidentally, you're not going to believe this, it just so happens that Roastmaster has prepared exactly that for us ahead of time. Rainfurrest, this was your life. This month's first story and this month's top story is Too Unlimited.
Who the fuck is that?
Okay, I was about to say, do you have any idea which? Oh, I got a point.
Anorexic pit bull looking guy, and that's because Pitbull's a pretty cool asshole. You know, I like his style of humor. This guy just looks like a dick. if he's ever gonna watch this, I apologize.
I don't know. That is to the ranting Griffin. He seems like the type of guy that would Google himself, so he may very well get to hear the things you've just said about him.
Yeah.
Furry Hall of Fame inductee, which that's a thing. To the ranting Griffin, as you may have heard, was recently let go by Anthrocon's board of directors, the board of people who determine what is and isn't allowed at Anthrocon. Historically, Anthrocon was Two's biggest gig, one that he hosted every year dating back to like literally 2002. You can also see all of his previous shows on YouTube if you want to get a better idea of what his content is like. However, voting was carried out this year, and even though Uncle Kage, which is a personal friend of Two, he stuck up for him. That's the chairman of Anthrocon, wanted him on board. The majority spoke, and the majority said, "Yeah."
Acceptable.
Yeah.
Acceptable.
Geek boy, Howie Mandel. Why? his name is Two, like the number 2. By that I mean the pencil, but also poop. It's literally the number. I don't know. He says, I think, allegedly the name came to him because he looked in the mirror one day and like the number 2 was like in his head.
Sure, he didn't have a bowel movement. And that's what caused it.
Yeah, I had a breakthrough.
Epiphany?
I had an epiphany. He's not banned from Anthrocon. It's just that he doesn't have a stage show there this year, and it helps. I guess if you're unfamiliar with Two, it helps to understand his content in context. It helps to understand him as an entertainer. He's been likened to George Carlin because of the abrasive and vulgar nature of his shows. The way he
Jumon has that's some fucked up shit, man.
Jumon says the way notable for the fact that one of his stand-up DVDs literally has a swastika on it, made of the number 2s. That's true. It does. He's really an edgelord, and he became popular in the fandom during a time when edgy comedy reigned supreme. When this ironic, I'm such a fucking badass, Maddox, best page in the universe content. When that reigned supreme, that's what he capitalized on, and he was the furry fandom's Maddox, for lack of a better term. He's a bit of yesterday's news, in a sense, because there has been a generation shift in the fandom, and that's why he's in a bit of a rough patch. Yeah, the cover, Jumon says that the cover has his persona full-on Nazi regalia with the number 2 instead of a swastika on it. Yeah, he also has
Rebel Yiff was bad enough, but
yeah,
now a goddamn Nazi,
the stars and bars fursuit,
a Nazi persona.
He doesn't have a Nazi persona. He just does edgy shit. Like one of his other DVD covers was like, it was a Photoshop. It was Hamburger Helper. But instead of Hamburger Helper, it was like Baby Helper, and he's like, oh, he's eating babies, that's so fucking edgy. Oh, guy, you're so fucking edgy comedian, you're eating babies. So Two has blamed his dismissal on SJWs, which is a remark that prompted many individuals, myself included, to take a closer look at Two's content and find out what could have potentially pissed people off. And I have a couple of quotes for you. These are sourced from either his YouTube rants or his blog, where he would post his rants to his website in text form prior to YouTube. So here's a couple of quotes. This one's on the subject of Jewish people. Here's the quote: "I do not care that your people have been enslaved for the last 3,000 years. How often have you been a slave? If the answer is never, you have no right to bitch, especially at someone who has never owned a slave in their life."
What?
Yep.
What?
Second one, this one's a little bit more inflammatory. Second quote: "What is sexual molestation? The physical nature of it is obvious, but what does it represent emotionally to the victim? A loss of control, helplessness, perhaps some pain, being forced to do something you don't want to do, shame and embarrassment. These are all unpleasant things, but they're also unpleasant things that most people experience nearly every day from their bosses or coworkers at their jobs, or from teachers and other students at school."
What?
Yeah.
So they should cowboy up because I'm being molested at work
Yeah.
because my boss is telling me to work
Yeah.
harder because I'm being a lazy ass.
So, I get that edgy is your thing too, but this isn't edgy. This isn't even comedy. This isn't even fucking funny. This is just mean and uncalled for.
This is how crazy people talk.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna touch the Jewish thing. I'm not even gonna go near that one. I'm not gonna fall into the hole that you just dug on that. But let me give you a little bit of insight on that one about people going to work and getting molested. When someone comes home and they go, oh, man, boss really fucked us on that deal this week. The boss didn't actually fuck anybody. Nobody got physically fucked.
With that said,
Yeah, in response to heightened criticism, Tu responded on Twitter by saying, in July, this drama will be over, and I'll still have 25,000 people enjoying my videos. How does that feel, biatch? That's his response to everybody criticizing him for this. So let me break this down. First of all, you only have 25,000 subscribers, not viewers. Your videos get about 400 views apiece on average. To put that into comparison, this video will probably get around 200. Secondly, edginess is not the way to react. Not when you're in this level of hot water. The days of low tax, the days of Sean Baby, the days of Maddox are over. You and I were raised on the same internet media too, and things are no longer the same. People want something with a little bit more substance, not monologues about how Donald Trump's mouth looks like an asshole, which was the opening joke to his Anthrocon stand-up last year.
wow.
Yeah,
I wonder how long that took.
very topical, very original. 2, I'm not a super fan of yours. In fact, I'm not even sure if you would call me a fan of yours in the first place. I'm familiar with your work, and I respect you as one entertainer to another in that manner. So when I say this to you, I mean this. Stop it. Get some help. Easter took place over the course of the last month. You might recall everybody at Walmart buying chocolates and Easter eggs and shit like that. And what would Easter be without some cute bunnies? The UK's Channel 5 took it upon themselves to find some wholesome bunny-themed entertainment in the form of Watership Down and put it on TV. That's a screenshot of it over there, by the way. So if you haven't seen it, you've probably pieced together the fact that something slightly off about this. Yeah, it's an animated movie with rabbits in it, but it's also insanely grotesque and generous with its scenes of bloodshed, violence, and literal fucking death. It's a movie based off of a book written by a World War II veteran that many believe is kind of reflections of the time that he spent in the war. World War II. That war. The big one. This is the level of real shit that we're dealing with here. And somebody in charge of programming at Channel 5 found it appropriate to put it on for Easter weekend. People got pissy about it in their hilariously cute John Oliver British ways. But this is not the first time Channel 5 has done this. Last year they did the exact same thing. So this isn't a case of bad judgment. It's a case of someone having a really sick sense of humor. And a spokesperson from Channel 5 told British news media that they were starting a tradition in showing Watership Down every year on Easter. So this is not going to stop anytime soon. Keep fighting the good fight, Channel 5. If there's one thing British TV is good for, and I've learned this, if there's one thing that British TV is good for, it's showing movies that'll fuck you up for life. See also Threads. The OC is the new OG.
Do you know how excited I am about this? Do you know how excited I was when I found out about this?
No, but I can infer from the tone of your voice how excited you are from this.
Well,
how excited are you? No, I want you to please go on. How excited? Please tell the viewers at home how excited you are for the new Sonic Forces.
I've been a Sonic fan since 91. I created my first Sonic OC when I was like 10 or something, in like 98, I don't know.
Well, now you can create another one.
I know! Isn't this crazy? And, like, a bird is one of the species that you can make.
It is one of the species.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Anyways, for those not in the know, coming to stores this holiday season, that means Christmas, Sonic Forces, the latest and greatest installment in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Now, I know for a lot of you, when I say latest and greatest, you're like, yeah, latest and greatest like Sonic and the Black Knight, latest and greatest like Sonic Unleashed, like Sonic 06, like Sonic and the Lost Rings, like, and then that list...
Secret Rings.
Secret Rings. See, I didn't even commit it to memory. But for a lot of people, this was just another run-of-the-mill dies on the launch pad. It looks okay, I guess, but I'm really more excited for Sonic Mania game until the next trailer came out. Until the newest trailer came out, which was dubbed the Custom Hero trailer, which is what Trust Super Jail is so hype about, because players were informed that the oft-speculated new character in the game wasn't a new official character at all. That means the hero is you. You are the hero. Just like how you were the controller with the Xbox Kinect, you are the hero in the new Sonic Forces. It took Sega long enough. It took them long enough, but they finally embraced the OC, which means original character. I mean, I don't know if we established that yet. You've been screaming like fucking Charlie Day. I don't know if I've ever said OC stands for original character. It's now canon. And everybody's terrible and embarrassing Sonic fan characters now have a spot in the official storyline. They are now canonical. They're right there. They fit right in, standing between Sonic, standing between good Sonic and questionable Sonic, for everybody to enjoy. So that thing in the center, that could be you. It just could be a thing with the face cut out. You can stick your face in there. Forces comes with the built-in character creator, like I was just saying. And this was teased in the trailer and shows things, editing slots for things such as headwear, footwear, skin tone, clothes, accessories, all sorts of neat stuff. And a later announcement from Sega also teased the available species, which include bear and bird, but not Banjo-Kazooie, cat and dog, but not cat dog, wolf, rabbit, and hedgehog, because fucking course they got hedgehog.
It's really weird that I gotta be stupid for a second, but at first glance you would think, why didn't they include an echidna in the OC generator?
I was thinking, that's a point.
Knuckles is the last of his kind in some canons.
Oh, Knuckles! Is this Ken Pender's canon, or is Knuckles?
It's not Ken Pender's canon. No.
But yeah, there is a very strange collection of species, because like you're missing Tails, you're missing Knuckles, you're missing Fox and Echidna, which are arguably among the most popular species, go-to species for fan characters. So, but that's the thing. We still got months until the game is released, so that could all change. Sega might add them eventually. There might be an additional trailer. I don't know. But as it stands, no Fox, no Echidna. Very, very, very peculiar. Anyways, you and I and you guys all know that Sega's social media team doesn't give a fuck. They have long since been in on the joke that their flagship mascot has become, but DeviantArt finally showed some self-awareness, and they made a congratulatory tweet on behalf of their users for saying, "We did it! Congratulations! The OC is now canon! You did it!" So shout-outs to everybody who's ever made a terrible, awkward Sonic fan character. Your dreams will no longer just be dreams. Sonic Forces, again, is set to come out this holiday season for every fucking console on the planet, so no matter what console you own, if you got autism, Sega's got your back.
So excited about Sonic Forces.
Anthrocon's new chair. Anthrocon, which is the furry convention, took place last month, and save for some shitheads projecting hardcore pornography onto a neighboring building, not much newsworthy happened. Before the convention, however, Anthrocon announced that they were partnering up with Scoot Around, the company. That's the name of the company, Scoot Around, to provide power chairs for the injured and physically impaired. This year's Anthrocon turned out to be the biggest on record again. So let's be honest here. These power chairs are probably for their biggest attendees. Statistically speaking, the number of people in attendance with bad injuries is probably lower than the number of people in attendance with bad calories. That's the one I'm going to go with. Chances are people with chronic conditions, not including laziness, probably already own a chair and would have brought a chair of their own to use. But still, I'm glad you guys like the bad calories remark. I'm proud of that one as well. Usage aside, their actual usage aside, I think it's a good thing in the grand scheme of things. Every little bit helps, especially toward being more inclusive and being more accessible. If bringing in Walmart scooters is what Anthrocon needs to do to maintain the edge, to stay as the #1 furry convention, then I can't fault them for that. I mean, fuck. There have been days where I've wished I could drive around in a Walmart scooters because I don't give a shit anymore. Sadly, however, it's not known if these power chairs were offered for free or offered for rent, but presumably you probably had to rent them and then provide a deposit or something as collateral, because renting a scooter for the purposes of bad dragon jousting, probably not in the rental contract as acceptable use. Probably not. Just gonna throw that one out there. So if you're at a furry convention and you brought your chance with you, no Sir Lancelot. Don't do any of that. That's no good. You're gonna pay for those damages, and you won't get your deposit back, and it's gonna fuck up your credit history. It's not worth it. Trust me, it's not worth it. Moving on to our second story: crushed, yiffed, destroyed. Furry critical website Vivisector disappeared off the internet near the end of June, marking the end of its 10-year-long run online. 10 years. That's a decade if you're not a mathematician, but if you're a chronologist, I don't know if that's a word, I just made that one up, but put that right there. Chronology. If you study time, if you're big on time. Vivisector was a hotbed for drama within the fandom and served, in my opinion, it served the very important role of allowing the fandom to police itself by highlighting disparaging people and unsavory events. You name it, Vivisector probably had a thread about it. Stretching all the way back to 2007, Vivisector was also the repository for the archive for Crush, Yiff, Destroy, another critic website that went offline in 2010. And Crush, Yiff, Destroy put out articles and editorials that took a closer look at people and places within the fandom. And now that I've told you the name of the website that they bought, now I'm sure the headline makes a little bit more sense. I couldn't think of anything witty for Vivisector, but I had to go with what the website they bought up. Anyways, who fucking cares? The bigger question here is, what happened? There was apparently a disagreement between the website's administration, resulting in the owner taking his toys and going home. And by that, I mean he blanked the website and he didn't keep the server online. A couple weeks ago, Vivisector.org did begin responding again, bringing up a page that only reads, "Nazi furs, fuck off." And a link to the Discord, to their Discord, and a notification saying they'd be coming back online eventually. I don't suggest you join the Discord. That's just my 2 cents. With that, Vivisector has voluntarily relinquished its central position as an equal opportunity criticism website and is pretty much as good as dead. Overall, I'd say that the fandom has lost something important today. Well, not today, but recently. The fandom has lost something important. Plenty of people came out of the woodwork, plenty, to say, good riddance, but websites such as Vivisector and formerly Encyclopedia Dramatica and currently the Kiwi Farms, they play an important role in the ecosystem of a fandom. Whether or not you hate the website, you hate its guts, or you go there, you don't go there, that aside, you know that if somebody has a thread or a post or a page on one of these websites, you know that you should be treating them with caution. So this is where I would normally say, rest in peace, Vivisector, but this is an update. This is brand new update. This was like breaking news. This comes in from the fucking newsroom, like live on the show. 2 days ago, the Kiwi Farms have opened up a new subsection of their website called Furschwitz. And in the opening post of Furschwitz, the website owner specifically states that this brand new edition is to fill the void that Vivisector left. So Vivisector, whether or not you're coming back
as a far left, alt right, what it doesn't fucking matter. You have unintentionally relinquished your role and you have passed the torch along. So you are now officially a relic of yesteryear. Atrocity tourism, as they've said in their own words, will continue. Just won't be with you. So thank you for 10 years, Vivisector. We're gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. That's not sarcasm. I'm gonna miss you. So peace be with you. Go quietly into that good night and all those other all that other sappy bullshit. It's something unpredictable, but in the end, it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. That's Green Day, by the way. It's Green Day.
And, well, that's kind of where we end. What's Yiffin didn't actually have a chance to have a proper ending when we decided to end the show, because the last clip you saw where we talked about the closure of Vivisector and the opening of the animal control board on the Kiwi farms, that was filmed at the beginning of August 2017. That was that month's episode, because it's the first Friday of every month. And halfway through the month, that's when Hurricane Harvey happened, and it just kind of upended everything and put the show off the air for, 8 months just about. And in that time, we didn't produce any video content. I really didn't really have the ability to even edit offline content for Gatorbox. It just kind of put us off the air. I was able to make an announcement video showing what was left of this place and being like, I don't know if we can rebuild you guys, but eventually I was able to make enough things happen that we did come back on the air. And when we did, that was when we also, in that 8 months we were off, that's when Roastmaster and I decided that we weren't going to bring the show back. And I explained why at the yiffin of this video. What's Yiffin is kind of an important show to Gatorbox. The whole series has been delisted. I feel like in a general sense, most of it, it's probably better off that way. But I would like to have at least the highlights from the 19 episodes we did get to do, at least preserved on this channel. The stuff that's not in this video is stuff that is not really, I don't want to say it's not important or whatever, but it's just kind of recurring things. You're talking about the Ursa Major Awards and stuff like that, and it's just stuff that was meant to be consumed at the time it was made, and it's not really evergreen. That's even from a historical standpoint, it's just kind of uninteresting. But What's Yiffin wound up being a very peculiar series for this channel, because it is the only series on this channel that has featured almost the entire cast of Gatorbox from the 2013 era onward, from when I took over as the producer. I was the anchor, and you saw throughout the show, we had guest hosts in the form of Rocky, Jumon, Charlie, Tuna Boat Tony, Reflex. Literally fucking everybody who's ever been on Gatorbox appeared on What's Yiffin for some reason. That was not intentional, it just happened that way. And then, of course, Roastmaster is one of the contributing writers. He's a major part of the stream. He's never been in front of the camera, of course. He's never been here. But the only person missing is David Murray, all one word for branding purposes, Murry. He's the only person that did not appear on What's Yiffin, which is weird because Murray is in his username. It seems like he should have been a shoo-in to be on the show. But it's the only series that has featured everybody who's ever been on the cast. And it's the only series that you can actually say that about, because so many of those folks from years gone by, they've moved away, we've grown apart, they're not part of the show anymore. You know what I mean? Like, this was the only one to feature everybody who's ever been on Gatorbox. And we also got to cover some reasonably important happenings in the fandom in the brief time that we were around. We covered progressively the fall of Rainfurrest, like Rainfurrest 2015. As that shit show happened, that was like one of the first episodes we did. The second episode we talked about what happened to that convention. The one is like September, October 2015, and then we had periodic updates throughout the next year and a half, culminating in the end of the convention forever, where Roastmaster made that little slideshow, the In Memoriam thing with all the the pictures and stuff from Twitter and whatnot. Like that was a big thing in the fandom, and that video Roastmaster made was also a separate upload that got quite a bit of traction. Rocky and I did the whole Mare Juice thing back in 2015. That existed purely within the context of this show and nowhere else on Gatorbox. We talked about the dismissal of Tu the Ranting Griffin from his regular annual spot at every Anthrocon, which at the time, again, was a big deal. He was like the only performer that had been at every single Anthrocon with a set to perform. And then he torpedoed his career, and the changing tides of the fandom, he didn't get invited back. We also covered, at the very end, the closure of Vivisector and its replacement on the Kiwi farms in the form of animal control. That was a big deal. We covered the release of Zootopia and Pokemon Go, which were two big things. And we also existed right in the time to document the effects of the 2016 U.S. presidential election on the furry fandom. Like, all these big fucking things happened, and they were featured on the show. I thought it was really, in hindsight, going back and looking at all this footage, I'm like, damn, we really did talk about a lot of stuff. And of course, there have been people profiled on What's Yiffin who have since passed away. Sean Peach, the creator of FurAffinity, Dragoneer, it's funny, 10 years ago when we were doing What's Yiffin, we really thought that was the end of the website. A lot of it got cut from the best of, because it was just, FurAffinity was always in the news because they kept fucking everything up. Like, month to month, they were doing something, they were screwing something up all the time. And we were just like, I even said at one point, VCL had its decade run before FurAffinity replaced it, and it's been 10 years, and what's going to replace that? I really thought Furry Network was going to be the one to supplant it, and it turns out that never actually happened. Because now it's been another 10 years, and fucking FurAffinity is still around. Dragoneer's dead, but the website outlived them. That's weird. The other person that passed away was Mark Merlino, the founder of Conference, who that was profiled in one of the last episodes of What's Yiffin. We talked about how Mark and some of the folks that he collaborated with over the years put their collections of convention ephemera together on the official Conference website, and you could browse all of that stuff on there and look at all the convention brochures and pamphlets and the art zines and things like that were handed out to convention attendees back in the day. I thought it was a nice time capsule of the older furry fandom. And in the episode, I talked about how it would be nice if the organizers of other conventions, Uncle Kage from Anthrocon and whatnot, if they had a library like that of their own historical content, to put archives of that online for people to go back and revisit and kind of learn the history of the fandom and whatnot. One of the recurring things throughout all of What's Yiffin was my personal opinion on the state of the fandom. You probably caught an earful of it from time to time. I was very hard to read politically because I really was just pissed off at people on the extremes of both sides of the argument. I really didn't like either of those kinds of people. I felt like it was a detriment to the fandom. And 10 years ago, I was saying, you guys are ruining all this shit. And it's been 8 years since the show ended, but 10 since it started. And in the time it's been since the end of What's Yiffin, it has only gotten worse. It's gotten so worse that Roastmaster and I, we just fucking checked out. We're done. We don't maintain a presence in the fandom. We haven't for a long time. Shortly after the end of What's Yiffin, I was like, I'm fucking done. There's nothing. I'm tired of this shit. And it's unfortunate because for older people like me, the circle of friends I'm in, I'm actually one of the youngest. Roastmaster, I mentioned at the beginning of this video, he's in his 40s now. And I got a friend who turned 50 last year. They've been kicking around this fandom forever. And with a lot of older people like that get really disenfranchised and pissed off, they become very insular. It sucks that there's definitely this schism, this rift between the two generations of the fandom. For the most part, people who were here in the beginning, we just kind of keep to ourselves. We don't really deal with taking, commissions and things. We don't need to. We're at the point in our life where we don't really need the money. We don't really, we need to get our name out there. We don't really care anymore. We've had our fun. We've grown out of it. We talk to each other, and that's just our friend circle now, and we don't really participate in anything anymore. It kind of sucks that that's the way everything kind of shook out. It would be nice if we were all just kind of to be sentimental about it, one big happy family, but that ain't the way it is. So I don't really have any intention of reviving What's Yiffin. It ran its course. It was the third most popular show on Gatorbox. Your Level Sucks being it was the second. I'm sorry, the second most. Your Level Sucks is the number one show, obviously. What's Yiffin was second. The original That's Not Lego was third, and Game Hell, if you want to count that as its own series, is fourth. It's kind of the hierarchy. It had a place. It had a place on this channel, and we enjoyed making it at the time. And when it stopped being fun, we stopped doing it. So I hope you enjoyed this look back into Gatorbox history. I would like to thank everybody who contributed to the show, not just Roastmaster as the co-writer, but all the guests who were willing to kind of banter with me on all the stories we did, even if you did not know anything about the fandom. And everybody from the community who submitted tips and leads and things like that, as well as everybody on the outside who supported this show, namely Dogpatch Press and the cast and crew of the web series Culturally Effed. You guys are a decent group of folks. I'm glad to be able to say I worked with you and call you my friends, and I hope the best for you all. Hope you're doing well. I know I kind of just fell off the radar, but like I said, we took a personal inventory of things, and I just checked out. So that's all I got for you here on this video. I hope you enjoyed the trip down memory lane. I'll catch you guys in the next one. We got a lot of great content coming out on Gatorbox this year. It's kind of surprising that some of the things we've done are now stretching into the 10-year mark. You know, this one, the Tiger Gamecom experience, that's also at the 10-year mark. Lot of good moments on this show are now in the double digits. They're in the past. I've said this before, you know, when people say, oh man, it's been that long, oh, it feels like it was just yesterday. It doesn't, to me, I get it. It doesn't really feel like yesterday, but to kind of go with that same analogy, it feels like it happened like earlier this week. You know? Maybe not yesterday, but like 2 or 3 days ago, you know? It doesn't feel like it's been a decade, but I have no exit plan. I'm here to host the show until the day I die. Until I stop breathing. I will drop dead on Gatorbox. That'll be the last episode. It'll probably be the best one, too. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys later. I appreciate all your support over the years. You can always support this channel on Patreon, of course. You can join us in the Discord if you want to hang out. We have an Etsy store now where we sell little pins from Your Level Sucks and some stuff like that. And there's little odds and ends and trinkets like that. We're still live Monday and Wednesday, 7 to 11 on Twitch, YouTube, and now Kick. And Friday nights from 9 to midnight for our main show. That is, of course, US Central. So I've been Draco signing off for Roastmaster and the cast of What's Yiffin and everybody else. Good night. Good luck. God bless. I love you. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for checking out this video by Gatorbox. To see more videos like it, please subscribe to the channel. You can also support this project financially at patreon.com/Gatorbox. You can also follow us at twitch.tv/Gatorbox to catch us live every Friday night at 9 p.m. Central Time for our main show. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.